And what is good, Cowboys Nation? What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Dallas Cowboys Uncensored. I'm your co-host, Eric Berger. With me, as always, Charlie Moffitt. And special guest, we got half of Cowboys Zone here.
First
half. Zeke Jones. Love City Cowboys. Lambo's going to be late as usual. We'll get him here as soon as he gets back home from his kids' practice. This is the Hall of Fame game recap. So let's jump right into it. Couple things I wanted to hit. We'll probably, before I had these guys in the pre-show chat deal, and we were kind of trying to figure out how we were going to break this down. And I think the best way to do it is just talk about each side of the ball. We'll start with the offense because I think that's going to move pretty quickly. And then we'll go to defense and then hit it on special teams for Bluff at the end. So let's jump right in. Just without going into any specific players.
Before you do, let me give my shout outs.
Okay, go ahead.
On Facebook, I'm going to give a shout out to hashtag DC, the number 4L, hashtag DC for Life. It's a group. They've agreed to let us post our shows in there, which is pretty cool. I'd like to thank Amanda Foster. She's the senior admin that let us do it. It's a big group. Like 130K plus, which really fucking amazes me that they can run a group that big. And we had a 17,000 group, and I had to delete 15,000 people because it was too much for me. Want to give a special shout out to her. Eventually, we're going to try to get her on. She wants to call in, so we're trying to figure out how to do that or talk her into getting a video to do it on live on video. But she has a lot of kids, and we know how that goes. All of us do. So we're trying to figure out how we can do it, but eventually she'll come on with us. But I wanted to give them a big shout out, tell them thank you for letting us post our shows
DC
in
for
there.
life.
Yeah, DC for life. Hashtag DC for life. It's on Facebook. So check it out and join the group. It's a big group. They give giveaways. They do a lot of stuff. They give a lot of giveaways. They do a lot of things with players too.
Yeah.
So
I'm in 3 fantasy football leagues in that group.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Yep. All right, that's it. I just wanted to give her a shout out and give them a shout out.
Cool. Let's without naming any specific players, give us and I'll start with you, Bluff. Give us some overall general statements on what you saw and what you like, dislike, whatever you want to talk about there.
All right. Well, before we get started, I want to say thank you to you guys for inviting me on the show. We were planning on actually going live at 8:00, but we've been all kind of chatting since yesterday, and we've probably done 3 shows in the DMs alone.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to. I knew once you guys went live, I was going to be in your comments. You're going to be in our comments. So I said,
it made sense not to steal viewership, right?
Right, exactly. And we're going to all talk about the same things and be engaging anyway. So why not just do it as a group? So thank you guys for inviting myself and Lambo on.
No problem.
So just general thoughts. First of all, we got out of it injury free, so that's always a plus.
Absolutely.
We got to see young guys, good or bad, do what they do best. Whether it was good or bad, we got to see a lot of our young guys perform and compete on all 3 phases. So that's always a positive. I know we had a lot of guys sitting out, but this is one of those times where it's great to see them all playing. The younger guys with the older guys sitting out. It was a lot of good, it was a lot of bad. I know we don't want to go into specifics right now, but a lot of guys confirmed kind of what I thought they were going into just undrafted and the draft. So we got a lot to talk about with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, got a lot to talk about. Offense, defense, a lot of young guy talk.
Yeah, that's how I felt after the game. That's what I said. There wasn't no surprises. I don't think nobody played over the top of what I thought they was going to do. But I don't think I didn't look at nobody and said, dude, they fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Now, there was one guy that we're going to get to here in a little bit that there's a big difference in opinion between me and some other people, or actually between us and some other people.
I think Twitter's divided for sure.
Yeah, but we'll get to him in a little bit. But he didn't suck. He didn't play up to the level that I think people were saying he did. And I think there might be some little bias, but I will admit there might be a little bias on my side too. Not on Marcus, because Marcus ain't like me when it comes to Fat One Text. But there might be a little bias on me on how I feel about it. But I will only admit the bias if the other side admit there could be bias on their side. If they don't admit it, then fuck them in the neck. I'm going with my opinion, and that's it. So, but we'll get to him in a little bit.
So a couple generalizations that I saw a couple things with the offense that I'm not accustomed to seeing. A lot of bunch formations, a lot of bunch wide receivers out wide, bunched up, and the crossing routes were kind of a big thing for me that I'm not used to seeing even last year, but definitely post Garrett. So that was cool. And we'll get to the special teams later, but I also learned that I do not want anybody but Lamb returning punts and maybe TP, somebody else other than who returned kicks yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Dixon and I think Turner may have had, I don't know, whoever it was. I didn't like what I saw there.
Yeah.
But we can actually let's jump in this chat real quick. And
one more generic thing I noticed
go ahead.
I really didn't like. We hammered Nolan all last year about the defensive end standing up. And I'd be damned if the game didn't start. The defensive ends were standing up the whole game. Now, we did run some true 3-4 mixed in with that, but I just hate seeing a traditional 4-3 and then the defensive ends are standing up. That really just made me upset to see that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're trying to accomplish there.
I don't either.
And if it's to have these guys constantly drop back into coverage, that's one thing. But is that what we want to do? I don't know. Right. I don't like that at all. But I wanted TJ to come here, and everybody's knock on him was he could only stand up. He was usually an outside linebacker, and that's just not the case. So maybe it's got to go both ways, right? It shouldn't be that big of a deal to be standing up either. So we'll see. I don't think I like the look either, but it is confusing, as we talked about in the chat, because there was, I think you had brought up a still frame of one of the plays where I think it was Parsons picked up that fumble or recovered that fumble, but we couldn't tell what formation it was because they had 4 linebackers on the field, Neal, Parsons, LVE, and Jalen.
Yeah.
And we couldn't decide if they were in the 3-4 or 4-3 under. We really,
they had 4 linebackers on the field, and one of the ends was standing up.
Right. But hey, maybe that's the design there. If they confuse the shit out of us, maybe they're confusing defenses as well. Opposing offenses as well. Let's jump in this chat real quick and shout out everybody. The Lunatic in the house. What's up, man? What's up? Andrew Lunsford's back. Appreciate you coming out. Meeker, I think he's a new follow on Twitter. I'm not sure if I've seen him in the shows, but I have seen him on Twitter. Appreciate you
Jack
showing
Meeker
up.
is a regular on our show, so
got you. Okay,
following us and thank you for sharing.
Obviously, Rika's in the house. What's up, girl? Lupton's back. DCU represent. What's up, man? Let's see. Jessica Haggerty. That's a new one. Is that another one from your shows, maybe?
No, that name doesn't ring a bell.
Digital Victories in the house. Everybody's saying, hey, Jessica, so they must know her. She must be making the rounds in Twitter and all those content atmosphere deals there. You've got Ed and Eddie's from Silver and Blue podcast. Go check their show out. It's really fun.
What's up, guys?
They had I racked my brain and Google trying to figure out one of their questions on their show they had the other day. It was about nicknames of your Cowboys, and he said he's only seen Pat Summerall say it one time, and it was big play such and such. And I could not find – it had to have been before my time because obviously with Pat, but – I couldn't. Hopefully, he can put it in the chat because I don't know. I went back in the and I was going to comment, but I didn't know the answer. Mendoza's back in the house as always. Appreciate you, Mendoza. He's a regular of both the shows.
Mendoza watches more Cowboys football than anybody I know.
That dude is glued, man.
I watch at least 8 podcasts consistently, and Mendoza's probably blowing me out of the water.
He's in every fucking comment section I've ever seen.
He's great, and he knows his stuff, though. So.
Absolutely.
Let's bring him on Saturdays.
Let's get him on. Hey, I think he wanted to get on it eventually. When I first, told shout out to War Room, Dallas Cowboys War Room. Check him out on Facebook. We're both admins in that group as well. Okay. I think he showed some interest on trying to get on. So yeah, definitely.
We've had Mendoza on a couple times as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we can bring him on Saturday too.
Yeah.
On the new show starting September 4th. Keeping
Yeah,
up with
we'll just have
Joneses.
to
Gave us a little
schedule.
plug there.
Should I run the video real quick? I think that's it. We can get if Bluff, if you see any comments you want to get up there, we can jump right into the players and analyze the game here. Let's start it with the offense and then sub groups here. Let's go by position. So we'll just start with the O-line.
Okay.
Goods and bads. Anybody's stock go up? Anybody fringe player stock go down? Has there been any jockeying and positioning on the depth chart? Bluff, I'll start with you.
Hey, one more. I'm going to interrupt you real quick, Bluff. We suck at this, Eric.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all hit the like button and put a comment down on the thing if you can. But definitely hit the like button. We got to get our likes up on YouTube.
Yeah.
We always forget. We never tell y'all to like it. Y'all don't even have to like it. Dislike it.
If you don't dislike it, if you don't like it.
Put we suck in the comments. We had a guy I just noticed the other day on the Mosier said we was ridiculous. We didn't know what we was talking about. That's fucking great. I have no problem with that. You put on there we suck ass. I don't just put something and hit like or dislike. It doesn't matter what you do. Just do so because we got to get that up.
Exactly.
So anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Bluff.
YouTube doesn't read.
That's because we suck at doing this.
Yeah.
And for everybody who
Monty Hunter. Man, okay. Yeah, that's
yeah,
way before
everybody who doesn't know, if you get a chance, go find me on YouTube, Bluff City Cowboys. We have a podcast as well, the Cowboys Zone. I know a lot of you guys are interested in it. I see Steve Lupton said he saw me on Big Game James, so thank you for your support as well. And definitely always Mendoza, definitely appreciate your support also. And I see a lot of people shouting out Jessica, so I'm really interested in who she is. So Jessica, let us know who you are.
Yeah, they say a huge Cowboys fan. That's what's up.
Yeah. Let us know a little bit more about you.
I figured she was Bluff's, somebody from Bluff.
No, I've never seen her name before.
Looks like Reichenhoser.
Yeah. Right. Everybody, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah. Whoever you're subscribed to, go subscribe to the one you're not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, O-line.
Let's go.
The first person that stood out was Conor McGovern. He was blowing people off the ball. He was getting to the second level. He looked really good playing beside La'el Collins. And I know we've been saying this for quite a few years, but I think Connor Williams might need to watch his back a little bit because Conor McGovern came in and really showed some stuff on the first unit at that guard spot. That's probably the only person that stood out. I guess another positive would be Josh Ball. He didn't play, but all the other tackles sucked. So just by the process of elimination, he's going to move up on my rankings.
Yeah, the McGovern thing, I agree with you 100%. This is, I think it's me, and I talk in so many damn chats, I can't remember who I say shit to. But we was talking about Brian, before Brodus brought it up, there were some people talking about not worried, but talking about Connor Williams taking so many snaps at center.
Mm-hmm.
Was that, them saying they're not comfortable with badass and that they're giving him more snaps at center to see if he can take over and then McGovern could take over left guard. Yeah. And my first thought was no. And then Brodus said it, which Brodus, and that really surprised me because I like him and he's pretty educated in what he does. But I disagree 100%. And my first person I thought of was Bluff. I was like, no, this is what they're doing. They're giving Williams as many snaps as they can because they need a backup center. They got to find one. And in the meantime, that gives McGovern snaps at left guard to show what he can do at left guard. And if anything, I see Connor Williams being a backup center and McGovern taking over left guard and badass being a center. I don't see any way Connor McGovern is taking over badass at center. And this is actually a subject on Twitter. And even, like I said, Brian Brodus brought it up. And I was like, no, I think it shows that they're comfortable enough with badass that they're willing to give Connor Williams as many snaps as he needs to get better at what he does. Because I think they know we got badass. He's our center. Let's give this guy some snaps, see if he can play backup. And in the meantime, let's see what McGovern can do at left guard. And last night, it was right guard, but either way, I think he showed what he can do. And I agree. I think there's a chance that our starting five would be T. Smith and McGovern, Badass, Martin, and Collins. I think there's a great chance that's going to happen.
Definitely.
And I was big on McGovern coming out of college. I thought he was going to, if it wasn't for COVID, I thought he would have. Well, first of all, he got hurt his rookie year. He didn't get to play. Mm-hmm. But last year, I thought he would take a big step. But I think COVID kind of stepped in the way, and they went with what was easy. What they already knew instead of and I don't blame him too much for that.
Mm-hmm.
Writing notes of how many teams Ty Nseki's played on.
And he's 37 years old, I believe.
Yeah, I actually liked him because of how his game turned up once he got to Washington.
Yeah.
And Coach Callahan had his hand at it. So, you saw the improvement there, but man, it's fallen off since. So I'm kind of with you there.
Yeah. And Mendoza makes another good point about Isaac Alason, the kid from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually very shocked to see him playing left guard. I thought with his height, they would kind of play him at tackle and let him compete at that swing tackle spot. But he was at guard. He played a little high. But that was definitely, like Mendoza said, more positive than negative.
Yeah.
He has a mean streak, and I like that in a guard. I mean, the plays that he won, he let the guy know I whooped your ass on that play.
Yeah, you see him all the way downfield, jumping up and down. Yeah,
oh, yeah. I mean, he pancaked the guy and stood over him like Muhammad Ali, like, get back up.
Yeah, he's getting some playing time.
Yeah.
Was hoping Josh Ball got some more plays. Sucks he's hurt. I'm with you there. But we can get off of O-line. I mean, there's not really much there.
Right.
Let's move on to let's go.
I gotta say this one though.
Go ahead.
Twitter. Whoever number 67 is, his last name is Smith. I have no clue who this guy is. He could just pack his bags and go home from Ohio, because they played him at 3 different positions during the game, and he sucked at all 3 positions. And I hate to put a guy down like that because he's a professional, but it was just consistently wherever he went, bad plays followed right behind him. They tried him at left tackle, right tackle, and left guard, and it was not pretty at either position. But other than that, those are the main people that kind of stood out in terms of O-line.
Okay, let's move out a little wider. Let's bunch up our tight ends and wide receivers. Anything from the tight ends that you've seen, Charlie?
No.
Any stock up or down? I think McKeon.
I think McKeon's stock is up. I mean, he had 2 catches for 26 yards, but I mean, it was 2 catches for 26 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm not downgrading. I'm just saying, with that one game and with a little bit playing time, like some of them guys got, it's just, hard to like really judge. I mean, he looked good in his limited snaps.
He had two receptions, but he got more targets. And I think if the quarterback play was a little better, I think he'd have showed out even more. I definitely
that's
think
another thing. It's hard for me to judge the wide receivers with the quarterback play.
Sure.
Especially after Gilbert went out, it even went down further and then further.
Right.
And then fucking Goofy came in and just I don't know about that guy.
If there's with Danucci, we'll get to that later. With McKeon, I think his stock is up. I think he's tight end 3, and I don't think it's very close. He looks a lot like Dalton Schultz in that yards after catch, he can bully, smaller guys and break tackles, and he gets up the field pretty quick. So I liked what I saw from him. I think he's over Sprinkle, and I can't even name the other guy they got out there, but
Jeremy Sprinkle.
Is it Sprinks? But there's another kid in there, and they play another tight end.
Nick Eubanks.
Eubanks. I didn't see anything from him.
I didn't either.
Wasn't looking though either.
He played quite a bit in the fourth quarter, but again, he didn't do anything.
I rewatched it. So I watched it last night, obviously, and then rewatched it a couple hours ago. But I did not watch the last half of the fourth quarter because last half of the fourth quarter.
Right.
But what did you think about wide receivers? Anybody show out that you thought maybe wouldn't have?
I would have to say the top 6 receivers are pretty much secure at this point.
I think so too, man. I was really high on Simi,
and
while he had a catch, a good route, a PI called on against him or against whoever was defending him at the time. But again, it's hard to judge with the quarterback play. That first throw to him was way over his head, and it just didn't look good. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
So the top three receivers that played last night all look good. I mean, they, like you mentioned, they did a lot of stack formations. Everybody ran crisp routes. All 3 receivers played inside and outside, which was surprising to me. I didn't know Malik Turner could run routes inside, and Noah Brown ran quite a few routes inside as well. They caught short balls, they caught deep balls, they caught them with their hands, which is something one of our starting receivers has a problem with doing. So those guys all really showed me something when it came down to playing last night. Everybody had a couple of catches. Turner got a little bit more extended play. He had the fumble, but that's the negative. But the positive was it was 3rd and 14, and the team needed him to make a play, and he went out there and made it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we couldn't really see much from the other receivers, but just looking at the next 3, it's going to be hard for them to show what they can do with the level of quarterback play that they're going to be subjected to, unless something happens and they get a chance to play with the 1s or the 2s.
Yeah. Aside from the fumble, I think Malik Turner had a game.
He did.
Actually, after looking at it, I didn't think it was a fumble.
I didn't.
It didn't look like he had possession the whole time, right?
But Steelers the Cowboys wasn't going to contest it because they actually got off better by being called a fumble. The only ones could have reviewed it would have been the Steelers, and I don't know if they would have to really do it or not. But
yeah.
Because if the Cowboys would have reviewed it, would have fucked them even worse if they would have called a no catch because it was 4th down and they would have got the ball even further up the field.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, Aaron Parker had some nice catches late in the game. Brandon Smith pretty much showed me what he was. He's gonna run some nice routes. He's an explosive looking guy, but he's gonna drop a couple, which he did.
Dixon, the same thing.
Yeah.
Who's your 6, Marcus?
The top 3: Noah Brown, Malik Turner, Cedric Wilson.
That's seems about right now.
And looking at the way our punt returners looked, if Cedric Wilson can just go out there and keep doing fair catches, he's got a spot secure because nobody's pushing him off punt return right now.
Yeah, and I feel I wasn't as high on Simi as a lot of people, including Eric and Lambo. But with that said, I kind of feel bad for the guy because he's dealing the quarterbacks he's dealing with, man. It just kind of sucks for him.
Yeah,
that he's having to, have to deal with that shit. Maybe he can show off in practice, get some snaps with the 1s with Dak or something if Dak starts throwing again anytime soon.
Well, I think you saw a lot of favorites for those quarterbacks because, or at least in practice, kind of show up in the game because you had a lot of guys that just got a lot of fucking targets when they probably shouldn't have. One with Garrett Gilbert, he went to Dowdle over the middle. I think we were in the red zone.
Yep.
And it was great. We were 1st and goal, but, man, you had Gallup wide open on the edge. You had a little out route to the corner that he missed. But I think these quarterbacks are comfortable with a few of these guys in practice, and you saw a lot of that come out, I think, in the game because you had some guys that really didn't do anything with that after the ball. I think Dixon got a lot of attention late with DiNucci. It's probably one of his guys. He's running with the 4s and 5s.
Smith
and
did
whatever.
too. Smith got a lot.
Same with Smith.
Yeah.
But yeah, with quarterback play, it's just so hard to judge these guys.
Yeah, especially with fucking the goofy.
Yeah, they're gonna have to really shine in practice to get a chance to move up.
And again, let's preface this whole show with, hey, it's the first fucking preseason game. There's a lot more ball to go before.
Opinions can change. Yeah, my opinion can change on a lot of these guys.
This is more of a stock up, stock down type of thing. We're not predicting any rosters or anything.
Yeah. And I will say this as another kind of preface to this. All of us watched the game a couple times. So we're not just going off of one play that stood out in our minds. We make a judgment off of them. We watched the game multiple times and we looked at specific guys to see what they did. Because
I watched Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I feel like a lot of people who you see commenting on social media, if you saw somebody comment right after the game, they could be completely wrong because they were just watching it live. They didn't really go back and see what happened with that guy, why he did good, why he did bad.
And that's what Eric's heard me say for 8 years since he's known me. Very rarely, right after a game on our group, do I ever go in there and post anything. Mm-hmm. Because most of the shit that you're posting is what you call it seems like this. It seems like that. Mm-hmm. Well, fuck a seem. I want to know.
Right.
I don't want to go in there where I think this is what happened. I want to know. So I try to keep all my comments. That's like last night on Twitter about Bohanna. I was like, I'll have to go back and rewatch. But from what I saw live,
we'll get to defense. We'll get to defense.
It wasn't what I was. No, I'm just giving him an example.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I had to tell everybody, let me go back and I'll watch it again. And then once I watch it again, maybe my opinion will change a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes when you watch it live, it's hard to keep up with that shit, you know, because then you don't enjoy the game. You know, if I'm just trying to focus in on mistakes or who's doing good, I just want to watch the game. And then after the game, I'll go back and rewatch. And if they have all 22, I'll go back and rewatch that. And then I'll get more of an opinion on it. But, you know, during the game, I'm just going to watch it and have fun. And then I'll decide after, you know, every once in a while I have an opinion, like on obvious shit. But
well, we kind of jumped ahead to quarterback and pretty much covered everything I think we wanted to say about it. But there's a couple of questions here in the comments about the quarterbacks. Wilson was open at the goal line a couple times and Gilbert didn't look at him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happened quite a bit. Like I said, Gallup had 6 and we chose a little dump over to the running back, which was a great play. It ended up, you know, giving us a first down, you know, inside the goal, first and goal. So, but still, we missed 6 there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Dowdle.
We'll get to running backs in a second, but I think Dowdle has solidified his spot.
Yeah.
Even this early. It's just night and day. The running backs as a whole, we'll get there. Let me go. Actually, hey, my little brother's in the chat. What's up, man? Does the bad quarterback play make y'all think they need to nail down the solid quarterback 2 before the deadline? Here's the deal. I think GG is the number 2, and I think if Dak goes down long term, you're calling somebody like Phillip Rivers, something like that later. I don't think he's the guy that could carry a team, but I think he can come in and you know, kneel the ball in the fourth quarter if we needed a backup.
Yeah, I don't think there's any quarterback 2 we can go get that we can rely on for more than 4 games at the most.
Yeah.
So,
no, I mean, the thing, Gilbert to me played well. I mean, considering who he's playing with, he wasn't playing with the starters either. You know, and he's a backup quarterback, so he played like a backup quarterback. I think some people want it to be no fall off between Dak and whoever else comes in, and that shit just does not happen.
Yeah.
All right. You have outliers like Romo went down, Dak came in, took over. Trent Green went down, Kurt Warner came in and made the Hall of Fame. Drew Bledsoe went down, Tom Brady came in and still fucking playing and is the GOAT. Yeah. All right, them are outliers. That don't happen often. When your quarterback goes down, 9 times out of 10, think 2015 Cowboys. That's what the fuck happens. Or 2020 Cowboys. That's what happens. You know, so I'm not really. I think Gilbert could hold on for 2 or 3 games if Dak, you know, hadn't missed 2 or 3. Maybe we go 1 and 2. Maybe, you know, hell, maybe we go 0 and 3. Who knows? Yeah. But no, I think the back. I just think fans want. They want a Dak number 2 behind him. We're used to that. You know, Romo goes down and Dak comes in and saves the day. You know, it doesn't always work that way. You know, Drew Bledsoe wasn't playing good. Romo came in and took over.
You know, I wish Lambo was in the chat or on the show already.
Yeah, no.
Because I'm going to dub him the originator of this idea, because he's made it clear in our chat and he's got receipts if anybody's interested. He was definitely the first one to say this about Dobbs way back in, I think it was July or something. Before
Lambo
July.
Brought this up last year when we drafted the news.
Last year.
He's been on Dobbs all
last year, July. That's what it was.
Yeah, he's not here to defend himself, but I want to say it. I'll let him defend later. I get it, but I don't care what he says. There is a little Vol bias with him with that one.
Yeah.
He can sit there and say, oh, no, it has nothing to do with the – dude, you got a little bit of bias with the Vols if you want him that bad. You know, but for his training for him, no, I wouldn't give it no draft pick for him. I just – even if it's a 6th or 7th. Like I said, I just don't see – is he improvement over Gilbert? I don't know. Maybe slightly, you know, maybe more athletic, definitely. But as important as a quarterback position is, and everybody knows me knows, I'm a pass, grade, and run guy. I love quarterbacks. You pay him. I don't give a shit. If he's a top 12 quarterback, I don't care what you got to pay him, because you got to have one. But when it comes to backup, I just don't. I want to get the best one we can get. but that's a lot of times. I mean, there's not even 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
No.
Exactly.
So and people want us to have a backup that can come in and play close to Dak's level. I'm like, well, shit. Who are you going to get? I mean, so I don't know. I wouldn't trade for him.
He's
Speaking of Lambo,
yeah, he's coming
He's
back
here?
in. Give us a second here. Give us a second. What up? What up?
I like that. That was awesome.
So now,
that was awesome.
Please
Hey,
stand by.
we're just talking about you, man. So who was it? Mendoza brought up the Dobbs trade deal, and we gave you all the credit. But then Charlie had to go and ruin it and completely rain on your parade and say it's really not going to do anything for us. It's not going to make us any better. The gap between QB1 and QB2. He actually made some really good points.
You know me, dude. I'm always going to fuck shit up.
I mean, honesty, if Dak goes down, we're screwed, period. It don't pretty much matter who your backup is unless your backup is a top 15 quarterback in the NFL.
that's
Probably.
exactly what Charlie just said.
I will say
Exactly
this.
what I just said.
Is
But-
Dobbs better than Gilbert? Maybe, maybe not.
It'd be a
But
good battle.
Is he more of do we have to change the offense up for a Gilbert? Are we going to look similar with a more mobile Dobbs than we would with a Gilbert? How much do we have to change? Obviously, he's not the same caliber, so it's not going to be the same offense, but does it change that style where if we need to, he can, he can tuck and run or option or RPOs and stuff like that? Is he better at that? Definitely more athletic. I'm with you.
Yeah.
man.
The
Something to think
athleticism
about.
would give us a better fighting chance, at least.
No, that's true. I agree with that.
Hey, my
Control
little brother
control the
says
clock with him a little bit.
Dobbs is a baller. He likes him.
Yeah.
He's a Cleveland Browns fan. For anybody that,
I mean, there's a good chance he's
Well,
not
he's-
going to be on the
he sees
Steelers
that
roster. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth looking into. But
Right. And even if we got a more athletic quarterback, I still don't think we run RPOs because we have Danucci here, and we didn't do it with him in the games that he started.
That's
last
true.
year. We just
That's
let wide receivers throw the ball more instead of letting him run it. I mean, letting him pass it.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we no longer have to talk about Danucci.
I know.
It's kind of like Chaz Green.
About 3 weeks away.
It's like
Yeah.
Chaz Green at quarterback, pretty
He'll
much.
probably be on a practice squad, though.
Yeah. But yeah,
Well,
just
Lambeau- Oh, go ahead.
going back to the Dobbs versus Gilbert, if it came down to 4 games and we needed either one of them, I can't for certain say this guy gives us a better chance of going 3-1 or 4-0 than the other guy. And that's kind of how I would base it.
Yeah.
If it's more than 4 games, it doesn't matter anyway because no quarterback is gonna come in here and succeed. And
I will say this. The opposing quarterbacks that we face this year is not impressive. The list of these quarterbacks is not impressive.
Yeah.
We might have a chance. Now, if defense played lights out in a few of those games and kind of maybe won us a couple of them games, I could see where they'd have a better chance this year of carrying us
Yeah.
versus, last year where it was just a gauntlet of, we had some shittier teams on the back end, but a lot more talented quarterbacks, in the beginning of the season. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's something to think about.
Yeah, but I just don't think we could depend on any quarterback.
Yeah,
to
sure.
win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the defense balled out, you never know what'll happen. But if we depend on one quarterback over the other one, it's just a coin flip no matter where you go.
Yeah.
When 2008, Romo went down for 3 games, and we had Brad Johnson, which most people consider a quality quarterback.
Mhm.
We went 1-2. We missed the playoffs by 1 game. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just when your backup comes in, it's just so much different. And like I said earlier, people they see how bad they are. And Gilbert wasn't that bad last night.
Yeah.
But they see that, and there's a drop off from Dak. Yes, because Dak's a top 5 to 7 quarterback in the NFL. So there's a huge fucking drop off from Dak to whoever you're going to have in there. I think people still, like I said, want the miracle guy that just comes in like Dak did when Romo went down and take over the team and go 8-1 down. And that's just typically that shit just doesn't happen. Like I said, you want your backup quarterback in there for 3-4 games. What can he do in 3-4 games? Can we go 2-1? Can we go 3-1? Can we go 2-2? But like Marcus said, anything over that, just throw your hands up like I did last year. Like, season's over. Let's move on. Let's go to 2021.
Pretty
You know,
much.
I mean, that's what I said in 2015, and people try to convince me, well, if Whedon does this and we do this, I'm like, look, dude, y'all can we all we want, but they're going to suck ass. You know, then I got hit by a drunk driver a week later. So that was the only good thing that came out of that shit. I didn't have to watch that team all year.
Lambo, your video got called out a little while ago. Let's see here. Rika said something about it.
Rika was promoting you.
It is funny as hell.
It is funny as hell, yes.
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
it was rushed. It was really quick. Lately, I'm so stressed for time. So if I do have something hit my mind, I'll literally run out there, one take, real fast, throw it together.
One take.
Like 6.
You sound like fucking Eric and Marcus, fucking producers. One take.
One take. 6 minutes later, it's edited and posted, and I'm off to football practice.
Oh, shit.
But yeah.
Hey, here's your deciding factor between Dobbs and Gilbert.
Uh-huh.
Oh, if it'll come up, my computer's slow. There you go. It's Super Bowl winner.
Oh yeah. I was waiting for some big news, and I was like, what's that?
I mean, Cowboy Dale would save on the salary cap.
Big time. What'd you say? It's some beef jerky and a beer or some shit?
A pack of beef jerky and a gallon of sweet tea. I mean,
sweet tea.
Yeah.
Hell
that's
yeah.
funny.
Fuck it, let's move to defense.
Yeah, we can skip running backs because they don't matter.
All right.
On the defense.
But seriously, about the running back, we will.
Yeah, seriously, running backs actually had a good day. I'm just gonna stop at that.
I thought they all had
a good day.
I thought
They all did.
Bro.
And guys, let's keep the comments coming in.
Yes.
Pick them up. Pick them up. Pick us up. We suck, so make it better.
And don't forget to share this at little paces. Share it on Twitter. Let people know.
Yeah,
Defense.
Defense. Our 2 highest rated players on defense were 2 rookie linebackers.
Parsons and Cox.
Yep.
Charlie's happy about that.
Like, I'll never forget about that.
I can't even hear the name or say the name without just laughing. Anyways, we'll get off that. But
I do a lot of shit off my back foot that don't make it good.
That's how Dale does it.
That's how Dale does it.
That shit's fucking great. Okay, let's start with the D line. Bluff, go ahead if you got anything.
Oh, I mean, Lambo, you want to start us off since you just coming in?
Go ahead.
No, if you're going to D line, you hit the tape a couple of times.
I usually go to you for the guys up front, man.
I know Marcus hit the D line hard. I haven't got a chance to rewatch it yet at all. I watched one through.
I don't want people to jump down my throat yet. First of all, a major surprising positive was Azul Kamara. Undrafted free agent out of Kansas last year. 6'4", 245, 250, ran a 4.4. All the athleticism in the world. He couldn't get on the roster last year. Yesterday, he really showed his athleticism. Standing up. He was one of the few disruptors we had off the edge. Stayed in the quarterback's face. He was a little bit aggressive, but I can understand why, just kind of first time playing. But he really showed me a lot. Another guy who I just was in love with after watching the game over and over, Diggy Zua. Osa. This kid is the real deal.
Yeah.
When you look for a D lineman, you look for a guy who penetrates. All the stuff we said about him during the draft season, splitting double teams, two-gapping, penetrating, he put it all on display yesterday. Chasing plays down from behind. I mean, I counted 8 plays where he personally wrecked the play. He didn't make the play, but he wrecked it. He caused the quarterback to throw right. He made a quarterback do a bad throw. You go back to the goal line play where Ballage had to run outside.
That was on Osa too.
If you guys go back and look at that play, he completely split a double team, and he was standing there like this, like, come to me. Mm-hmm. And Ballage just had to beeline it to the outside. That guy made a bunch of impact plays. On the first team, because we got to go back to the first team.
Yeah.
Carlos Watkins played a lot of nose tackle, which was surprising to me. I didn't expect to see him be the starting nose tackle, and honestly, he was the exclusive nose tackle. Because if you guys go back and watch the first drive, Britt Urban played right end.
He played defensive end. That's right.
He played defensive end the whole first drive.
Mm-hmm.
He went from right defensive end, then they transitioned to a pure 3-4, and he played like a 5 tech.
And he didn't look bad. I think Mosier tweeted out, that we might need to start looking for an edge guy in free agency because everybody outside of D-Law and Gregory wasn't worth mentioning. And I kind of disagree with him. And I said, Brent Urban looked really good. I mean, he's solid.
Yeah.
Given we weren't expecting him to play defensive end, you know what I mean? At least I wasn't.
Exactly. I wasn't either.
And plus, it's a one game, so I'm not going to flip the fuck out after one game. Say, hey, let's go start trading for guys.
Right.
Because nobody looked good in this game, putting pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think Brent would be the one. I just think with the people out, with Gregory out, because McCarthy mentioned it after the game. A lot of people was kept out. A lot of people snaps like Brent and all them was only 1 or 2 series because of tomorrow, the scrimmage against the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
They had that in mind, knowing that they was going to have to take a lot of snaps then too.
Right.
But I thought Watson looked good at the one.
He did.
I thought Brent looked good. To me, that just shows Urban, he's versatile. I mean, you can move him up and down. I think he'll end up doing a lot of good things for us this year.
Yeah, and my last positive on the defensive line, and as always, Mendoza beats me to it. Rondale Carter.
Mm-hmm.
He played mostly left defensive end. He has.
I'm setting it up, dude. I'm setting it up.
No, you are.
I'm not going there.
The build up.
I'm sticking with positive first. You guys have to break up that guy. Rondale Carter had a lot of pop in his hand. Like we talk about that when you shock a guy with your hands. He did that consistently. Him and Osa had several stunt games going on where Osa would kind of come out, Carter would come in and just pop that guard, and the guard would go flying back. And he had a lot of hustle plays as well where he would go downfield, the play would be kind of thrown, and he chase it down from behind. So Rondale Carter really showed me something at that defensive end spot.
What do you think about Basham on his limited snaps?
I mean, he didn't stand out one way or the other.
That's what I thought about.
That's always good. I mean, it wasn't negative. He stood up a lot more than I thought he would. But I know Mendoza always said he's going to be considered a linebacker anyway. So I know it was only the first game, so maybe that's kind of an indicator. He exclusively played either stand-up in or when they went into their 3-4 look, the pure 3-4 look, he was the outside linebacker.
Yep.
Yeah. Those are pretty much all the positives that I can think of in terms of D-line off the top of my head.
Yeah, positives pretty much. I don't have nothing else to say besides what Marcus said.
I think there were positive plays by some of the other guys, but I think overall, there wasn't, it wasn't a positive game, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought Wright had a couple of positive moments, but he also had a couple non-positive moments. Cox, I thought Cox had some positive moments. I thought he played, like Eric said in the chat earlier, he actually played very well against the run, which was his downfall. Yeah. Not his downfall, but his weak point, which people thought he would be weak at. And I was impressed that he played pretty well against the run, which you got to put in context who he was going against. Mm-hmm. But either way, what I want to see in these games, I don't give a shit who you're going against. Did you do good? If you did good, I'm fine with it. You can't pick who you go against. That's not up to you. But if you're going against people who's probably not going to be on the team or barely make the team, then you should look good. If you're the player I think you're going to be, and I think Cox is going to be good.
Yeah, he was never out of position. That's one thing I'll say, considering he was a rookie linebacker. He didn't make a lot of plays that stood out to the average fan, but wherever he was supposed to be, he was there.
He was there, yeah. LVE did. I thought LVE looked pretty good at times, too. They all had limited snaps, so it's hard to judge them. And Parsons, I'm not big on off-the-ball linebackers, but goddamn, dude, that dude's going to be a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on the outside, he's on the inside, he's on the other side. He rushes. Just that dude is just gonna. He's gonna be a beast for us, man.
See ball, get ball.
Yeah, he's gonna be good.
I was pretty impressed also with Boss Man Fat. With
Yeah, no, that's another one that didn't do nothing abnormally great.
They didn't even look at it.
Was solid.
Yeah.
There's something to be said. They didn't
go his way at all. No news is good news at corner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they completed one pass on him.
Mukwama had his times where he stood out a little bit.
I loved it. Mukwamu, right? But let's get back to D-line. We'll get to these guys in a little bit.
Somebody else for the D-line.
I know Charlie can't color in the lines, but let's lasso it back in here. Back to D-line. What were some of the negatives? Any negatives to stand out to you? I'm setting you up, Charlie. Wink, wink.
Oh, you coming to me now? Oh, yes,
Yeah.
most definitely. Bohannon.
Look, this kid had one hustle play in the first half. One. That play where it was a 2nd and 8 or something, I believe like that. Little dump pass over the middle. He did take on a double team. He didn't get pushed back. He broke off the double team, hustled downfield about 6-7 yards, and knocked the running back across the first down marker, which was kind of weird. But it's a hustle play. It looked great. It looked like, damn, where's that big guy coming from way down there? But still, go ahead, bro.
Isn't that the same thing we criticized Jalen Smith for?
Yes.
That's
absolutely. I thought he was going to get up and swipe, to be honest with you. No, it's a great hustle play by a big guy. We expect more from the linebacker because he weighs 100 pounds less, but a big hustle play from a big guy like that, we love to see that stuff. But other than that, in the first half, nothing. He got beat off the ball. He got beat by double teams. He got beat by singles. He got beat. He looked like Don Terry Poe. He's on skates headed down the line. He's never pushing his opponent forward. He's always either standing up, which is what he's supposed to do against doubles in a passing situation, stuff like that. In a running, you want to free up those linebackers, absolutely. But he got pushed back a lot, and not just on doubles. So freeing up, freeing up linebackers doesn't do shit if you're 5 yards back with 2 other guys on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there were a lot of swinging gate plays, and what I mean by that is he's supposed to be like this, and he's like this.
Yeah,
and there's a lane.
There was two plays. He shot the gap. He shot the gap on 2 different plays. I know he shot. One was on the goal line. He shot the gap, got through the gap. The ball. And I used to bitch at my son for this all the time.
Yeah.
Anyways, he shot the gap, and all the offensive lineman did was just, okay, there. You want to go there?
Right.
I'll just shove you there. There's a gap. There goes a running back.
Right. And most people look at that like, oh, he penetrated. That's
they let him go because you took yourself out of the play.
I think what a lot of people saw was those type of hustle plays, and then late in the game, late fourth quarter, he was throwing 5s and 6 string guys around like ragdolls. I think people see that and they're like, "Oh man, this guy's he's the."
I 100% agree with this. I agree with that because this is what happened. All these comments I seen on Twitter was all right after the game. Right after, no rewatch the game. Mm-hmm. All they said was he was dominating, and my first thought was, I think. What happened was they didn't really see too much at the first. They saw the hustle play.
A little bit of recency bias.
That was their guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he hustled down 7 yards down the field. Look at that big fat dude, And then nothing really happened. They didn't pay attention. Nothing special happened. And in the fourth quarter against guys who probably not even going to be in the NFL, he made 2 or 3 good plays. One dominant play where he manhandled a dude and just threw him out of the way. Other than that, that's all he did. And I think people saw that. And it's like, yes, that's what we're going to get. And I'm like, no, look at the first half, and that might be closer to what you're going to get because the dudes he's going against right now, probably not even going to be in the NFL here in a few weeks. So, I wasn't impressed with them as others. There are some people on Twitter that have 100% respect for their football IQ that I 100% disagree with on this subject. It's just one of them things. It's not unusual. People can watch film, watch games, and come away with 2 totally different outlooks. It's amazing how it happens because we both look at each other like, what the fuck are you even watching?
Yeah, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah. And they're looking at us like, what? I don't know. What the fuck are you watching? And it's just, it happens all the time. I mean, it happens with coaches and players. I mean, we all see shit different. And I did not see dominant. I did not see that was the word that kept being used. And I'm like, that that's a strong word.
It is.
If you want to say, hey, he played okay, or hell, I disagree if you even say he played well. But I can go with well, but telling me he played dominant, there wasn't nothing in his game last night that was dominant to me. It was meh. You know, I mean, I've seen him take some double teams and get handled. I've seen him take some single teams and get handled. I've seen him make a couple plays. I've seen him get pushed around a couple times. I've seen him be not out of his gap, but through his gap and creating another gap. You know, so I like I told y'all before we came on, I have no problem admitting there might be some bias on my side because I'm not a big fat one tech guy. I don't believe that you have to have one. But I will only admit that if the other side will admit that they're fanboys of the guy and they want him to do good. So they're seeing it with their eyes and through their vision of him being a badass. If they can admit that, I'll admit that maybe there's some bias on my side as well. But the thing about bias on my side, it ain't Bohannon. It's not even one text. It's where we draft them and you pay them. I don't believe in drafting them high. We didn't draft them high, so I'm good with that. I don't believe in paying them. We ain't paying them, so I'm good with that. So I have no problem with him. But I do think they're overrated at times. I think people give him way too much credit, and especially Bohannon. There was guys out there that thinks he's going to change the whole defense. Like he's it.
True.
You put him in there, the defense changes. Linebackers are going to be free, or run game. He's going to stuff the run, and I'm like, it's. If
I thought Carlos Watkins was better.
Definitely.
Watkins was better. Osa was better.
Yeah.
But Hamilton, the few snaps that he got was better.
Yeah.
You know,
I know I asked you guys.
I'm not the one saying this. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I know I asked you guys in the chat earlier before the show, but I want to ask the chat here if anybody else saw this. Early in the first half, running the ones, Carlos Watkins and Osa. Was it Gallimore?
Gallimore.
And the inside. So the defensive front, it seemed like they never flopped, right? So you got a strong side and a weak side. It seemed like they never flopped, or there at least a series where it was just depending on the offensive formation, Gallimore and or Osa and Watkins. They were both playing 1 and 3, just depending on the strong side of the formation. They never flipped, how you normally, I'm always going to play 3. I'm always going to play 1, whatever the fuck, they both played those positions. And then on top of that, I want to ask y'all how much this has affected this stuff that we're seeing like this with the reps and the different this practice coming up with the Rams. I feel like they're making a huge emphasis on getting or keeping their guys they know they're going to make the roster. A lot of more 1s and 2s that are going to see a lot more playing time in this. I think they kind of made this Rams scrimmage, if you will, more important than this first game, at least for the vets. How much does that impact what we saw? With personnel and also scheme on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think McCarthy. Somebody tweeted that McCarthy said he's expecting the ones to get 60 to 70%.
Yeah, it was a huge workload. It looked like
all the snaps during this scrimmage with the Rams. So I could definitely see that being kind of a reason why we saw what we saw on Thursday night.
Yeah, he said it after the game last night. He said that played a big part on the snap counts on what everybody got because they had to take in consideration they got a scrimmage with the Rams Saturday, so they didn't want to put too much of a load on guys like Gregory and Watson. I keep calling Watkins and
Brent Urban
and and people like that. So I think it has a lot. Now I also think that the alignment has a lot to do with it too, because to me it looked like we went with basic shit.
It was super basic
and
so basic to where they weren't even swapping 1 and 3.
Hey, this is your job on this.
Just line up.
Don't give a shit if they're passing or they're running. This is what we're doing. We don't care what the play call is. Just show us you can do this, in vanilla. And plus, it doesn't show, because nobody really knows what we're going to do. So kind of keeps everybody, other teams like, hey, what are we going to look like first game against Tampa?
Yeah, that's like we said earlier with that play that Parsons picked up that fumble. You had 4 linebackers on the field, and 2 of them were on one side of the ball, on the line, both of them on the line. So
and a stand-up guy was in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a weird looking. Yeah, that's what we was talking about. Who was strong safety and who was Will, and
Yeah.
So I think some of it's just to keep the shit simple and just let their playmakers make play. That even Parsons even said that today, or it might have been last night. He said he said they just tell me where to line up and what to do. He goes, and they let me go do what I do.
Yeah.
And that's fucking perfect for him. Just say,
Yeah.
hey, line up over here on the left and go get ball, and let him go get ball.
Yeah.
He looked good.
I was in another chat with one of my friends, and I want to give Professor O his credit because I was chatting with him today too. And he was saying, even though it looked basic, it reminded him a lot of what you would see with like a Rex Ryan, where you just have a bunch of guys playing a bunch of different spots. And
The old
even though
46 defense.
the personnel doesn't change, the look continuously changes 3-4, 4-3, bear, whatever. And he was really impressed by that. And another one of my friends in the chat brought up just about Michael Parsons. And I see Jack Meeker says he played 4 different spots.
Mm-hmm.
He compared Parsons to Adelius Thomas, who played for the Ravens probably a decade or so ago. Just a big, super athletic guy. They play him at safety, corner, outside linebacker, defensive end. And I feel like we got a little sample of that with Parsons, because if you have a rookie in his first game and he plays 4 different spots, imagine what we can expect when the season starts and they really start implementing stuff.
You know who that kind of reminds me of also? Is whatchamacallit from last year. My mind just went blank.
From this team?
Yeah. Played edge for us last year. I can't believe
Alden Smith.
Alden Smith, when he played for the 49ers, he played safety.
Mm-hmm.
He lined up on guys in the slot receiver, and he played on it. He put a hand in the dirt, played in the middle. He played everywhere. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah. And guys in the comments, if you disagree with us, please let us know, because I know a lot of people.
We encourage it.
Hannah, let us know your thoughts on what we said. Let us know your thoughts on if we may have missed something, because we're not perfect. We definitely could have missed some stuff that.
Well, let's speak for yourself on that.
All right, we covered linebackers. Let's split out wide. What about secondary? Any corners stand out or safeties? I'll start with you, Lambo.
I thought both the rookie corners looked pretty solid. I mean, for the first time out there, in NFL competition, even if there wasn't Steelers, probably, I don't think they had everybody in their starting lineup out, but to be rookies and come out there and play solid like they did, Nashawn Wright is definitely making me feel a lot better. Chase Claypool had that big play downfield, but there was a clear push off there.
Clear.
There was a pretty good push off.
But he's got to
he gave up on it though.
He gave up.
That. Definitely got to play through it. His hips obviously is probably going to continue to be a little bit of a problem on slants and things like that. He's not getting there. He's not he can't really get in there quick enough.
He sure does make up for it in that length though.
He does.
He got beat on that slant. It was a bad pass, and Claypool was about to get powwowed by fucking Thompson. That's why. But
Boss Man,
not bad.
Oh, you're good. I was just saying, Boss Man. The fact that they didn't even want to go his direction tells you that he was sticky in coverage. And every time I did notice him or try to pay attention to him the most I could, it looked like he was right where he needed to be.
He was in position, which
was something I worried about with him because he didn't have a ton of playing time in college. He ain't got a ton of games under his belt, but he looked fairly good. Kennedy, like Mendoza just mentioned, he looks like a good reason for why we think Anthony Brown could be on a hot seat.
Brown got toasted with Claypool that first series. That little out route to pick up the first down.
Oh, yeah.
Up and out. I want to defend Brown real quick. Why don't you say any fucking thing about fucking Boss Man getting a pass completed against him? Like Brown got one pass. You fucking remind me of the Cowboy fans on card. He gets one pass. Oh shit, he got toasted. Fucking Boss Man got a pass completed on him too. Like Jesus Christ, I don't know why people one pass. Fucking Brown sucks now.
If they're both getting the pass completed on them, give me the one that's going to get it completed on them for cheaper.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What is Boss Man's fucking contract this year?
Next to nothing.
He's
Well, he's
second
a second
round.
rounder, so he's
Less
probably a
than-
little bit
Less than 4,
Yeah.
right?
less than 5. Yeah, Brown's
Yeah.
5.7.
Probably a whole contract.
No, it's not.
I'm
the
not
whole
like
contract.
I'm not anti-Brown. I like Boss Man better. I like Kennedy better. I like I'm starting to like Wright. I'm starting to like Wright better. And Reggie Robinson showed up a few times. So I mean, he's still got a lot of room to develop, but I like the potential he still has. I mean, what did he get last year as a rookie? No offseason. Played at safety, out of position.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's still got a lot of potential, a lot of room to grow at corner too. So it's gonna be fun. I'm ready for the next one.
What about Mukuamu? Anybody? Any takers? I think stock's up. He looked great in the run game. He can fly to the sidelines. Man, him and Wright next to each other, it looks scary.
Mm-hmm.
Two big ass 6'4" guys running that kind of speed laterally. I liked what I saw from the rookies up until about the 4th or 5th round guys. Right after that, it just other than Mukuamu, I think he had big. But man, the rest of them, it's a uphill battle.
Yeah,
I'm not as high as I was on most of them.
Yeah, I thought Coyle may have had a shot to kind of compete at that safety spot, but he had a couple bad plays on special teams and on defense where Mukuamu kind of showed up on some big tackles, a couple pass breakups, and just kind of being in the right spot at the right time to deter the quarterback from throwing in the spot.
Yeah.
And we talk about Wright's length. Mukuamu's length is really going to help him out as well.
Absolutely.
When it comes to that position.
And I like that they both will come up or come downhill and make a tackle. They're not afraid. You think with that kind of frame, they're not going to be as physical, but I just, they show that they're not afraid to come up and make a tackle.
Yeah. And that's something I noticed. All the corners except for Brown really kind of came up and helped in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of those things you look for when you see a team running cover 3 because you get to kind of look at the line a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm raining all over Brown because, like I told Charlie in the DMs, if the situation was reversed and Jordan Lewis was the one who had the chance to save us $4 million, I'd be saying the same thing. I just think in order to stay on this team, they have to look far and away better than the young guys to really have a shot to stay. You can't be at the same level. You can't be a little bit better. You have to be far and away. You're our number 2 guy to have a legitimate shot of staying on this team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have no problem with that. I mean, there's a good chance he's going to be the odd man out of this. I'm hoping he's not. I'm hoping he takes over. J-Lou hasn't done shit. So, but for some reason, fans are just up on his nuts, and I haven't figured that out yet. Like he hasn't done. He's been above average at best his whole career. Brown has finished on the depth chart every year. Out of 2 or 3 defensive coordinators, out of multiple defensive back coaches, Brown has been above J-Lou on the depth chart every fucking year. And for some reason, fans just fucking shit on Brown and just jump all over J-Lou's nuts. I'll if someone can explain that to me with physics or chemistry, I'll be glad to fucking listen.
How many interceptions has Brown had in the last couple of years? I think that's what we see. We see more turnovers with J. Lou in game day. I think at practice, coaches like Brown better.
But fucking Lewis had more fucking turnovers than goddamn Byron Jones did. Are we going to say fucking he's better than Byron Jones?
No, I'm just putting tallies in people's corner, man. Just they're the same guy. One makes a little bit more, and we're just trying to dig through the bullshit. Who's better, who's not, and I think that's a tally. He is a little stickier than Brown. I mean, other than year 2,
I'm not really
for
high
Brown,
on either of them personally, but
yeah, year 2 sucked for Brown. I mean, year 1 was great, and then what have we seen since? I mean, you could say the same thing for J. Lou, but you have seen some turnovers too. I mean, there's been some spots where he's burned and he's toast and he's all that, but he also has turned the ball over. Now, I don't know Brown's numbers though either. Has he had any turnovers in the last couple of years?
I have no clue.
Anthony Brown had 2 interceptions last year, I believe.
And J. Lou, I don't know either. I don't know him either.
Mm,
I just seemed like it, without having gone through all the fucking
Yeah.
tape over, it
I
just
would be-
feels like J. Lou looks better on game day than Brown does.
I will say this. I wouldn't be shocked if J. Lou has more sacks and tackles for losses than both of our starting linebackers.
Oh wow.
I don't have the stats in front of me, but just
I got him in front of me.
He's great blitzing up there.
He does come off the
Tackles.
edge. Just, yeah.
Tackles for losses, J. Lou last year, I don't have his whole career, but last year had 7,
okay.
Yeah, it's great.
which was second on the team behind
Okay.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
I knew
It's a pretty amazing stat.
I knew it would be high because that's what he does.
Yeah, J. Lou, he had 2 sacks last year, 4 sacks the year before.
Okay. Yeah, that's not
Pretty,
surprising.
so
He's an aggressive corner.
over
AJ
50 tackles both past years.
And Anthony Brown had 2 interceptions last year.
I remember.
Jordan Lewis, a big fat fucking 0.
Okay. What about career? Let's go down. Let's keep going. I'm gonna
If
move
I
the
had to guess,
goalpost on
probably
you.
Brown has 4 and Lewis maybe has 3.
Career Brown
Lewis has got 4
Lewis has got 4 interceptions.
and 6 sacks.
Okay.
But Brown's got 1 year on him.
Yeah. And yeah, DJ Dog, like you said, point up. Brown is beating Jordan for that slot corner the past 3 years.
I think in practice he has. On game day, it doesn't feel like it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because I know when we had this talk early in the offseason, Lambo and I were bringing this up that we thought Brown would be the odd, not Brown. We thought Lewis would be the odd man out because every year Awuzie and Brown just kept beating them out. So if you had to choose between Awuzie and Lewis, you would think Lewis would have been the odd man out for that reason.
But going back to Kennedy last year, and I took heat for this, I had him making the team before he opted out, of course. I had him making the team, and depending on how many cornerbacks they kept, I had him the reason why J. Lou wasn't going to make the team. Of course, I took shit for that. But then he opted out, and then they moved fucking
Rashad Robinson
to safety. So that
Reggie Robinson. Yeah.
Reggie Robinson. So they moved him to safety. So I was like, well, J. Lou's got a spot. I mean, because it's just numbers say he's going to make the team. But this year, I'm not saying Kennedy's going to push anybody out, but I do think Kennedy's going to make the team.
He's going to make this team.
He's pushing somebody out.
He better make
That's
this
what I'm saying.
team.
I don't know who's going to get pushed out, but somebody's getting pushed the fuck out because he's that good, I think.
Yeah. Because we don't have a lot of guys who can play in the slot well. I personally don't think Brown can play in the slot.
I don't think he's great, but I go back to J. Lou. I don't think J. Lou's great in the slot. I've seen him get beat like a fucking bass drum.
I agree.
Fucking doing all fucking game. You know,
You went for the bass
Metallica, fucking Lars, fucking double
the
That's what it said. That's what he fucking looked like at times. Throwing out some fucking metal there for you. I don't know.
Charlie's so worked up about Anthony Brown, bro.
No, it's not that. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's great. He just reminds me of Carter. And he goes back to where last night he got 1 pass completed on him. And everybody said, blah, blah, blah. Fucking boss.
It's not about the completion of the pass. Everybody gets completed on. That's not what it was. It's the fact that the way it looked. He seen it was coming at him. He didn't get a hand. He didn't make contact. He didn't do nothing.
Did you look at the whole play? Did you see him push off? Everybody saw he pushed off on Wright. He gave Wright all the credit because he got pushed off. Nobody said, watch Anthony Brown at that play. He keeps doing this. Watch the play. Fucking when he gets on the top of the route, he goes like this and pushes Brown back. And Brown goes back and has to recover.
I'll have to go back and watch.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and watch.
All right. Before we move on, let's go through the exercise that Lambo and I do every week. We're keeping 6 corners.
Oh, shit.
Diggs is secure.
This is where we always come down to Brown.
Boss man Fat is secure.
Oh, he's secured. He's not going
Right is secure.
We just had this argument for the last 10 minutes.
Right. We just put Kennedy as secure. And
Our special teams ace.
special teams ace is secure. That's
Wilson.
5 spots.
That's good. One.
Noah.
Who's number 6?
Oh, man. No.
Who have we not named yet? Lewis, Brown,
Robinson,
I mean, not
Robinson.
Goodwin.
Robinson, Lewis,
Good.
and Brown.
Yeah, we named good. Well, me and Marcus named Goodwin as
Yeah.
top special teamer. I don't think he's gonna go anywhere, but
So that's 5. You got Robinson, Lewis, and Brown. left for that 6th spot. If you think they're keeping 6,
Yeah,
Mendoza with the Reggie Robinson.
I would go with Robinson if it was my choice. But man, Lewis just got paid. I don't know.
One more. Go through it again. Who you got?
okay, we with the ones that are secure.
Uh-huh.
We got
Diggs.
Diggs. We got Boss Man Fat.
Okay.
We got Wright.
Yep.
If we're talking right now, Kennedy's looking good enough to
Yep.
say he probably has a spot. And
I
then
think
we
so,
got our
too.
special teams, CJ Goodwin. That's 5.
CJ Goodwin.
So that leaves us with Anthony Brown, Reggie Robinson, Jordan Lewis for 1 spot.
Damn.
If you think
Wow.
they're keeping 6, because some people think they're keeping 5.
I wish we could keep 7.
So who's your one guy staying?
That's tough.
It's tough.
Man, that's tough.
For me, it's Robinson, but I don't think that's what they'll do.
I think R2's the fan favorite, and I think I hope he gets it. He gets on too. But man, J. Lou and AB, you know what? They've had their fucking time.
Both of
Beat
them.
it.
Is there any
Beat it.
I told Marcus that
situation?
last night. Kennedy, when he's talking about who's going to get pushed off, if Kennedy steps up and keeps playing like he does,
Yeah.
he could push both them fuckers off the team.
That's true.
You know,
But both Jay Blue and fucking Brown could be gone,
yeah.
and we go with Robinson. You know,
And then
with
we're
the-
all screaming hell yeah because we saved a fucking bunch of money on our Geico insurance.
Are there any situation where they just say goodbye
we
to
say
the
about
special
$3 million
teams
total.
ace and to the special teams ace and Goodwin just
Ooh.
because they love the talent at cornerback so much?
Fossil will probably put in his letter of resignation.
Yeah.
You can't give away his only star. Special
Hey,
teams
did you
is
see
important.
that kick return they had, or what was it, a punt or a kick?
Yeah.
No,
Punt return.
it was a punt.
Oh, Sexton on the Steelers or whatever.
Yeah. I didn't like that. I like Nishwander or whatever his name is, Nishwander or however you say it.
I liked him when he
Nice-
wasn't
nice
kicking
wonder.
field goals.
No, he's not a field goal kicker.
I
We
know.
need Lance.
Not.
We need
I know.
Greg the leg back, but punts.
hell
I
of a
liked what
punter.
I saw there.
Yeah, he's a hell of a punter.
Yeah, I see Todd Corey says he's keeping Lewis.
And I really like the Steelers punter. Holy shit!
Yes.
I thought he was
They
the
got
MVP of the
boom.
team yesterday.
if you follow the money, Brown's going to be gone. If you're going to cut some, I mean, if I know fucking Steven's a cheap prick, but at $2.5 million, I'm not cutting to save that money. I'm not letting it. I'm not
That
cutting
shouldn't
Brown
be a
over.
decision factor, right?
That's not going to be a decision factor for me. I'm not saying fucking dipshit won't do it that way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't think 2.5 million should be like, oh well, hell, we saved 2.5 million, so we got to cut him. Because I mean, you still have 3.25 million of dead money on it. So on him. So I mean, it's like, yeah, you save, and I always say, fuck the dead money, go with the savings. But you're still keeping. I mean, at the end of the day, Brown is taking up 3% of the cap. That's all he's taking up. I mean, he is the 9th highest paid player, but he's still taking up 3% of the cap. It's not like he's got some huge fucking cap hit like just is going to kill us. Fucking J-Lu, he's taking up what, like 1.5% of the cap.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you go with the money, and then you also got to take consideration too, when you cut somebody and you add somebody, say Wright. Right now, Wright's not even counting against the cap. Nashawn Wright, he's not even on the cap right now because he's not in the top 51. So he's off the cap. So if Brown gets cut, you move right in. You actually ain't saving 2.5. You're saving around a little under 2 because he's going to take Brown's place. So it's going to compensate, and you're not going to save as much.
Right.
So I don't know. Can you improve on Brown? Is there better cornerbacks than Brown? Yeah. We got 2 of them on the team right now. I think. Yeah. I think Diggs is better, and I think Boss will be better. So yes, you can improve, but I'll take Brown over J-Lu every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Todd
That's just
Corey
me.
asked a good question. If we were to cut Robinson, you think there's any chance we can get him on the practice squad?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
He's gone.
I think he'll be gone.
We're talking about the most athletic corner out of the draft last year
That's true.
that slid to the 4th. People were ecstatic about getting the guy.
And motherfucker hasn't got to play.
Then our idiot defense coordinator moves him to safety. Gets no offseason, slides under the radar. I mean, the guy's I mean, there's got to be a ton of teams out there that would be jumping on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But if you follow the money and you follow the contract, it's going to be it'll be J. Lou over Brown. They just signed J. Lou, and Brown can save you some cap space. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. I don't disagree with that part of it at all. I just think it's a wrong decision. I think you're taking a slightly worse cornerback over a slightly better cornerback to save around $2 million.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do it. It's not enough. That's not enough. You know how I am about the cap.
Right.
That's not enough cap savings for me to move the needle. Like, yep, you got to save that $2 million because that's going to sign some big time player. So, but how they do it, you're all probably right. It'll probably be J. Lou over Brown.
And I don't think any of us saying we just hate Brown, but we're just looking at
Nothing
it for what
against the guy. Nothing against him.
Yeah. He's a
This is a business, and you only have so many spots. You know what I mean?
Right. You only have so many spots, only have so much money.
And you truly want, as a fan, you truly want the coaches to pick the best 11 and put them on the field. So if that's the case, then you truly want them to pick the best 53, 55, however the fuck many there is nowadays. You want the best players. You don't want favorites. You don't want, whatever. If they're better than the other guy, you need to take the better player. Yeah. And unfortunately, we're not going to agree with that all the time as fans. But hopefully you make that you hope that they make the right decision. Anyways, we all feel comfortable like we covered the defense. Move on to special teams.
We didn't talk about safety.
Oh, yeah. We had a little bit of Mukuamu and who else jumped out at you?
I thought Curse had a couple of good plays.
He did.
What's the other one? Not J-Ron, but like, is it Tyron or he's a little guy. I can't. He made one really good play. Yeah, I think he was playing safety. Not KZ.
Arian Thompson with big tackle.
No, Kyron.
Tyler Cole.
No, God, I can't remember this damn kid's name.
He was a safety.
He may have been playing corner, but he came up.
I think you're thinking that new guy that came from the Jets. He plays
I think
corner.
so. I think
Kyron Brown.
Brown.
Yeah,
he made a
Somebody
play on the
up in
outside.
the comments.
Yeah, I seen that name in the comments earlier.
He made a real good play. He came in hot on one play and made a tackle in front of two other defenders who could have made the play, but he just swooped in and got it. That's the only thing we really saw from him. But so he's a corner. You guys are saying he was playing corner?
Yeah,
he looked like he came from the safety position on that particular play, so that's why I saw that. Anybody else?
They were playing a lot of off-man cover 3, though.
Yeah.
He probably just playing out 10 yards and just came flying in.
Yeah, that's true.
Where I jumped in late, when y'all went over offense, did y'all bring up Sewo?
No, we didn't.
No, we brought up the running backs. We felt like everybody else or all the running backs had a decent. And if really there was one running back to call out that I didn't think was great, it would have been at least running the football. It would have been him. But I think he did have a good pass protections and a couple of good lead blocks that I saw.
This is Lambeau's guy. You want to talk about him, Lambeau?
Go ahead.
I need to watch the tape again on him. I haven't had a chance to go back through a second time. There was like little spurts where I seen him out there, and I was pretty excited about it. But I would have to watch him again. Yeah,
he was kind of up and down from what I saw.
Yeah, I've seen him pick up some good blocks.
When they let him run the ball, it wasn't great, but lead blocking and also in pass protection, him and I saw him out there a lot with not Hines.
Dowdle?
Dowdle too, but the other kid, Knox. They were out there tandem a lot. And again, running the football, I don't remember the stat line, but we had over 100 yards as a team. And it was pretty good, pretty efficient. So I like everybody that I saw. Tony Pollard got a couple carries early. Dowdle had a great game, I thought.
Yeah.
Any other guys that you thought?
Yeah, and just to go back, I keep saying this. Rico Dowdle would have been probably a day 2 draft pick if not for injuries. We really got a steal in that guy. He has it in terms of elusiveness, burst,
explosion. Vision, that's what I saw.
Yeah, vision, catching the ball. He has it all.
He has the hands
from a lot of injuries at South Carolina.
Yeah. I think back when we did the roster prediction show with you guys or with you, Bluff, I had Knox being one of the undrafted free agents that could possibly make the team. I don't see that after seeing Dowdle's performance last night. I felt like, hey, running back, whatever, RB3's up in the air. He's probably got the best shot as an undrafted guy to come in, but I think that door's closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game last night, there was over 7 million viewers, making it the most watched preseason game since 2017. So America's team is still doing it.
Oh, yeah. Jay Tucker loved that.
Outperformed the Olympics last night.
So I texted or I tweeted at him and Law. What's y'all's take on NFL the Game Pass? Not having the all 22, man. I tweeted Law and Jay Tuck and asked if they wanted to throw in on a company that can go do that for us. I said I'd have 5 on it. Just give me your cash app. But
you found somebody?
No. I think.
Oh, okay.
Jay Tuck's down. I ain't got Law on board yet.
For somebody
that'd be awesome.
Like
go get some all 22.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's priceless. I love watching all 22 tape.
If you had the capital to put down, that's a great company to start right now.
Yeah,
I think you could even open up subscriptions right now for future tapings and make a killing. Swoop in on these jackasses. I don't know what the deal is. What's the holdup? What's the deal? Anybody know?
No clue.
I haven't heard anything about it. I just see people freaking out about it.
Other than it's not going to be available right away, right?
Right.
For months, they said.
Yeah.
For months.
Well, fuck.
All the big dogs are getting tired of all the little guys on the come up for them.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I know people are tripping out about it.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks. I mean, it's not a must for me, but I do like it, and I will use it. But it's not going to end. It's not going to piss me off that much. But they do need to bring it back before months.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, they get it back up for the season starts.
Before the season, there's no way you're going to let real games go by.
Yeah.
How many people have unsubbed and not paid
have this
because of
shit?
it?
That's true.
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, it just came out. I think 2012 is when they made it, offered it to the public. Is when they started. I think it was 2012.
I like it. I like watching games play by play, and having the all 22 saves me from watching one play 6 times. Like we had that whole discussion about the play I screenshotted. I had to watch that play like 8 times to kind of figure out who was where.
Yeah,
I had all 22. I could watch it one time.
Right.
Last night I was doing that.
And you can't see the numbers.
Right.
From the game film, you can't see the number. You're not up on top, so hell, you can't even see really exactly if they're lined up right over the guard, if they're faded a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, so it makes things a little bit harder for people like me who really like to watch stuff like that, but it really hurt. And
like I said, it sucks, but I don't have to have it like people like Botch and people like that.
That's huge for their content.
Yeah.
It's huge.
That's huge for them.
And who is buying this without the all 22, right? What is the pass good for other than that, right?
You can watch the replays.
I had it for a year, but okay, commercial free, I guess.
Yeah, you can watch replays. That's about it.
I only got to pay extra for that. I got a fast forward button on my shit.
I'm going to guess most people who pay for it for the all 22.
Absolutely.
That's my guess. That's my guess.
I can't see someone, whoever's in charge of that, the league, I don't know who owns the company or whatever. I can't see him looking at their bottom line and being like, I think we can make it without it this year. They're losing so much money.
I didn't realize they took it away 2 days after they took everybody's payment.
That's why people's pissed off.
The ninja just said that in the chat.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's what people's pissed off about.
And the ninja makes a good point. He says the theory is floating around that the coaches don't like the people having it to make players and coaches look bad.
Oh, poor things.
I know.
Listen, I don't think they care about the fan scrutiny. Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, maybe a couple guys, but that's like the players that get on Twitter and clap back at these fans that don't really know what the fuck they're talking about. They're millionaires, they don't give a shit. Only a few do. A few will come on there and be, a little butthurt that you're talking shit about them, but they're rich. Who gives a fuck?
Right. And it's not like we still can't see who messed up.
Right. We might not have that view, but come on.
Right.
Okay. Now do we feel like we've covered defense? We're about hour and a half in. Y'all want to cover? I know Bluff does. You want to cover special teams real quick? Anything else? See?
How did I get
jump out?
Special teams guy?
You're the special teams guy, man.
Lambo, you came in late. You got anything you want to add before we go special team?
Nah, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. I really wish I would have had a chance to watch it over again a second time. I haven't had that chance yet, but
Yeah, I had to go back and watch it too.
I watched it 3 times.
Yeah. The Ninja asked the question, how many times will players come back at content creators next? Just from the Cowboy standpoint, ask Jeff Kavanaugh. He got hit a couple times last year.
Who was it I saw earlier? Broadus got hammered by one person. They were talking, and he came back on the show and told him about it. But this was years and years ago, right? And then Broadus was like, "Hey, it turned out to be a good deal." You know what it was? It was Randy. It was Randy Gregory's PC or not PC, but I think it was on 105.3 The Fan with him and Kavanaugh. And they said, this is back in the day. Broadus was kind of, not mean, but whatever, a little critical of Randy, as most were back then. And, he went ahead and apologized and thanked him because I guess Brian's son had gone to a camp with RG. And, Randy Gregory was real good to his son, even not knowing that it was Brian's son. And Brian thanked him for that. But I mean, that's the name of the game, man. The press is supposed to report what they see. Sometimes their opinions are a little crazy, and some people do that on purpose. But I don't think Brian is like that. I'm glad it turned out that they're friends now because it was a great interview.
Sometimes
nobody good watches our show. So,
nobody
I don't
watches
think
this
all the
shit.
Cowboy players watches our shit anyways. So I'm not very worried about it.
Sometimes
That
it's
being said,
positive.
We're gonna get Brent Urban on the show. Goddammit. I swear, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get him on. I'm campaigning hard.
I mean, I do know this. Like Zeke's mom, I don't follow her because I told Eric, I said, "Hey, dude, don't follow her because if she follows you back and the shit we say about running backs,
man. Yeah, she's on top of it.
I do not want her calling me out on Twitter because I can't say nothing to her. I'm going to be nice." And just leave it alone.
Somebody's
and
mom.
everybody's like,
He talks
"Oh yeah, what the fuck, DC? What you got to say about that shit now?" And I'll be like, "Hey man, I'm
Tony
good
Pollard,
at mamas, I'm good at women, so I don't want to say shit, but I don't want no shit about me talking shit about her son. Don't matter. I mean, I'm sure that would bother her."
Tony Pollard in his rookie year, he got in my DMs, which was awesome, but it wasn't totally negative. So this one was kind of a positive experience, a little opposite of some of these dudes.
Nice.
I made a rookie video about him with some highlight reels and talking about him, this and that, a little bit Cowboy Dale in it as well. And I had put down his 4.5 something speed from his from the scouting combine.
Yeah, combine. Yeah.
Would he come back and tell you he's a 4.8 or something?
Yeah, he DM'd me. He said something like he told me like the video or something like that. But he said, but I actually ran a 4.34. He said I had food, and he's like I had food poisoning at the I had food poisoning like the day before he ran that or something. But he decided to run it anyways. And so he was under the weather, and at his pro day he ran like a 4.34. And I was like, man, you looked much faster than that. And that's he actually talked back and forth too. I probably 4 or 5 times talked back with him. He told me he was about to change his number, all kinds of cool stuff. So it was really neat. And
That's
I was,
dope.
to relay to everybody, hey, he's 4.34.
I want to make sure that shit got set straight.
Oh yeah, I was like, I will make sure I correct that. So sometimes you get something like that that's cool too.
Yeah.
What was that Riker said about Dak's comments?
Oh, that wasn't Rocket. That was Eddie. Eddie.
Oh, Eddie.
Are we worried about that?
What's y'all's take on the shoulder? I don't think it's an issue.
If we had a real game on Sunday, he'd be out there.
I think so too. Why put him out there, or why even have him doing anything? If it's just not 100%, there's no reason.
Well, I got it like this. I actually watched a YouTube video today of a doctor explaining the injury, and he was going over an injury of a pitcher like 2 years ago had the same injury, but he had a grade 2 strain, and he was going over, and it was going to take 6 weeks for him to heal. And he said it's basically just rest, and that you can't use it until there's no pain. That was with the grade 2. He said, if it doesn't heal, the pain never goes away, surgery is an option. If it doesn't go away. And then he gave some stats on how they do after surgery compared to just doing rehab and shit like that. I'm not worried about it right now because I feel like we started training camp a week early. Like Texans and people, they just got in full pads a couple days ago. We done had a week of full pads. We done had a preseason game. They haven't had a preseason game yet, so we're ahead of everybody. So I think it's okay. Get back with me in 2 weeks. If he ain't throwing the ball in 2 weeks, I'll be concerned.
That's what I'm saying. It's not an issue until it's an issue. You know, you start seeing.
I tell you what, if he ain't playing the first preseason game, if he doesn't do shit, I'll start getting concerned, and then it'll build up until he does throw it again. But right now, I'm not too worried about it.
You mean week 3, the dress rehearsal game?
No, I'm just talking about next. Yeah.
Oh, next week.
Yeah, the next preseason game.
Okay.
I'm not saying play. He doesn't have to play in it. He needs to be throwing back then. If they don't want to put him out there, I don't have a problem with that. I've said it before. You can set him the whole preseason and make it shit to me. But if he's not throwing by that week, I'll start getting concerned about it. And then, but right now, no, I'm not worried. I mean, could the Cowboys be downplaying it? Sure, all teams do. Why would they come out and say, "Yeah, he's fucked up right now"?
Yeah, why would you say that?
All teams downplay their injuries right now. They're not going to come out and tell you the truth.
At the same time, I would think if in their minds it was more serious or had a chance to be more serious, they would definitely be taking a real hard look at some serious talent at the backup position, backup quarterback position, and they haven't really acted like they've put much interest into that. So I don't think they are definitely as concerned as some think they may be.
Well, when they first came out the injury, they said it was a I can't pronounce the name, the lattice strain. And my first thought was from me when I used to work out, I'm like, hell, that's your fucking lats. I thought they said it was his shoulder. So I looked it up, and it is his lat. It's underneath. And they said it last night. It's underneath. It's not on top.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's just your lat. Yeah, your lat has about that much muscle that goes up and connects to the back of your shoulder. So it can affect your shoulder pain. You can have pain in the back of your shoulder. But this is right here underneath his underarm where his lats are.
They said it's more common in baseball too, didn't
they? Because that's a lot more. And that's what the video I watched was about a baseball player. It's because they're throwing 98, 100, 97. They're balling it all the time. They throw a lot of goddamn balls too. And Dak, from what I understand, he hurt it on a goddamn fucking long throw for special teams. That's what they said last night. That's how he hurt it. 75-yard throw. He was working for special teams. Instead of punt it, he was throwing it up in the air, and that's where he hurt it at.
You got jugs machines. Come on.
And that's why Jerry Jones said it last night. He said that won't happen again.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's your $160 million quarterback. Why the fuck you haven't got there throwing punts on fucking a punt return team?
That's a little unexcusable, man. I didn't even know that.
That's a little silly.
Yeah.
And it could have been Dak, too. You know how Dak is.
That's true.
Dak could be like, hey, hold on, I'll get it, and go out there, and he could. Because it's not something that, fucking Mahomes is throwing over the goddamn roof to fucking Arrowhead Stadium. They do shit like that all the time. See how far they can throw it, and, so it's kind of one of them odd injuries. It's not like, anything bad. But, yeah, I'm not worried right now, Ed and Eddie. But give me another week. If he's not throwing by Arizona game, then I'll start to get a little concerned. But until then, I'm not really concerned. We got plenty of time. We got a little over a month.
Oh yeah, George. I forgot George Teague. Now he's coaching with the Vikings for camp.
Oh, he went to the Vikings?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they give him a locker and everything. Look at that. He just posted it.
Let me get
George Teague.
He's back with Zimmer.
Damn. Yeah. I bet he loves it.
Now we need to get him back on the show and give us some dirt on the Cowboys.
No shit. Now he's
now he can on his show.
It's time to spill the beans.
That's great. I don't think he would say anything that we don't already know. I think the questions that I know that I had for him on that show, I think have been answered with the play that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, go check out Brent Urban's wife on Twitter. She's a great follow. I really feel like these guys are a treasure. Both her and her husband Brent are. I went back and looked on their Twitter, and Bears fans loved them. So go follow her. She actually had a giveaway. I don't know if she's announced yet, but she gives out Brent's game gear all the time. So go follow her if you want a shot. The Ninja's got a couple of good comments in here, going back to the interviews with. He basically backed what I said about Brian Broaddus. kind of reneging on his comments and apologizing to Randy Gregory. He also says that Tad Prescott will call you out before Mitzi does. So you got to worry about Tad before you worry about Zeke. Zeke's mom, Tad will call you out.
Well, Tad will call you out.
Yeah.
I'll start following Tad through Dak's contract negotiations, and
He'll interact though, which is
he'll
cool.
unload on some people.
Yeah. He's got all the time. He's got all the time for it.
Something and Tad shared it.
Recently?
No, I thought it was something about the kid.
Oh yeah,
kid, yeah. I've
DM'd with him too a couple times with Tad. It was before he got that post that blew up.
Mm-hmm.
He at one point he only had like 5,000 followers or something, and it blew up when he posted that picture of him and Dak together or something. Yeah, it's a local kid I'm friends with his parents. They go to our church and stuff. Got a brain tumor. He's had multiple surgeries. It's an extremely tough battle. Big Cowboys fan. I've been trying to get Dak's attention for 2 years now to go see him or make a video for him, something, even if it's 30-second shout out, something. I haven't had any luck yet. It's got retweeted, I believe, like 1,000 times or something.
Is that Amy from?
Yeah, that's
okay.
my Cowboys.
What's up, Amy?
Yeah, but Tad retweeted it, and he also sent me a DM with praying hands like this. So I thought, okay, this is done for. He's going to get Dak to show up, but nothing ever happened. So
who's Amy?
My Cowboys family. The wife.
Yeah, that's the husband and wife show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
the one we had on last week or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that. It was a good episode.
Yep. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. Shouts out to you guys because as a content creator, it's hard enough for me to go once a week. You guys,
I know. That's what I told her. I was like,
"Yay!"
Yeah, they go every night. I'm like, dude, I would go crazy if I had to go every day. I'm like, shit, I don't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah. I've been following them since they came on the show, and they post every day. It's good content too.
It's great. It is impressive.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I don't know if I told him on the show, if I told him before or after we talked too. I told him I don't see that. That's just I don't see how y'all do that shit, and y'all do a good job at it. It's like there's no way I could do it. I would. Hell, I can only say fuck so many times before it gets old.
Yeah, I'm about 5 minutes away from you. My mic is and walking away now. Yeah, definitely shouts out to you guys.
But yeah, we'll get them back on with us. Maybe one day they can do a Saturday show with us. On keeping it with the Joneses.
Yeah, speaking of September 4th, is that the
September 4th is the launch, if you want to call it that.
Debut episode.
The debut of Keeping Up with the Joneses.
That ought to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to that, yeah.
We either go live every day or argue with each other about the Cowboys.
That's great.
Yeah, I guess that's a good marriage counsel there. Some therapy. So we cover special teams.
No, we haven't talked special teams yet.
Nope. Let's cover it right quick.
Go cover with special teams, Bluff.
Well, one thing that stood out to me when they pulled all the starter guys, special teams fell off a cliff. And I talked about the receivers, Noah Brown, Malik Turner. Those guys are very important to special teams. And when they came off the field, it showed on punt return and punt team. I mean, and I don't have to talk about the kicker. The coaches said they didn't emphasize kicking in practice. They put a punter out there to be the kicker. So it is what it is in that one. Kick return. Mendoza's got Dixon. He tried his best to make an impact, but he should have left a couple of them in.
I thought so too. Would he make it out to the 20 on one? Was the best
barely,
yeah.
I like the aggressiveness, but at some point, taking a knee is just as good as trying to return it.
Yeah.
Punt return, absolutely nobody stood out in a positive way. Guys didn't fair catch on balls they should have definitely fair caught on. One guy got hit in the face. The coverage wasn't even there. So, yeah. We were missing Bernard. and I know he was big on special teams last year. And of course, I just mentioned the 2 wide receivers. I noticed, because I pay attention to that a lot, the punt team was a lot of the really young guys. So they're really trying to see who has what. And so far, none of them have shown anything. So I talk about guys like Dorrance Armstrong and Francis Bernard. Yesterday was stock up for them in terms of special teams, because you can't afford to lose them if that's what we can expect from the replacements.
Did Luke Gifford play any special teams yesterday?
I saw him on kickoff.
And is he replacing Bernard there? Is that something that they're looking at?
He looked pretty good on defense.
Yeah, he was hustling at least, you know. I saw him undercut. He had a couple of bad angles.
Yeah.
But, man, he was hustling. I'll give him that.
Yeah, Bernard, Brown, Dixon. No, not Dixon. Bernard, Brown, Goodwin, and Turner, they are huge for our punt team.
Mm-hmm.
And none of those guys played punt team yesterday, and it showed.
Yeah.
Now, I did notice Reggie Robinson did play gunner and jammer the whole game. So you take that for whatever it's worth.
We'll take it. That's a shoe-in.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about all the other guys sat out. Robinson didn't sit out the whole game. He played the 2 most important positions on punt and punt return the whole game. So I don't know if that means they like him there, or they want to keep getting him work, or they don't have a replacement, or what.
The dude they brought in for LP looks all right. No bad snaps. We're good.
Yeah. No bad snap.
Go back to Amy. What'd she say? How do y'all feel about the here? Let me bring it up real quick. Yeah, there you go. How do y'all feel about Dan Quinn being up in the box?
Want me to go
Anybody?
first?
Charlie, go ahead.
Oh no, I don't like it.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I've never liked it. I didn't like Numbnuts being in their OC.
Numbnuts Nolan.
Yeah, and I didn't like the other Numbnuts coordinator. Fucking, he was OC.
Marinello was up there to take a nap.
Yeah, he was.
No,
sleeping.
no, OC. The one before that.
Yeah.
Linehan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I want my OC on the ground. I want him talking to the players. I want him seeing the players.
Especially a guy like Dan Quinn, you know.
That's what I was going to say.
I want him communicating with the players. I want him hopping the players up, asking what the fuck are y'all doing. You know, that's what I want.
I think on paper it sounds logical to be up there because you can see the field.
Yeah, it's like all 22.
But you can put anybody up there to tell you what they're seeing. I mean, it doesn't take.
You get you got a goddamn iPad or Apple, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you can see it. I mean, they send it down, and you can see it on the sidelines. I want to. I've never been a fan of it. I want my OC and my DC on the sidelines. I don't like them being up in the booth. Is it like that big of a difference that now we're going to lose because of it? No, I'd rather them. I just want them on the field.
It's just odd because he's such a hands-on coach.
That's what I think I was leaning towards.
It's weird. It's weird.
Because Linehan, who cares? Who cares? Get up there. Nobody's coming to talk to you on the fucking sideline anyway. Nobody likes your ass. But Dan Quinn, they love him. You know, everybody that plays for him, coaches with him, everybody loves this guy. He's such a addicting personality and you know, a guy you want to play for. Why not have that on the field? I don't understand.
I mean, well, there's I mean, you can go just through the Cowboy history, and there's examples of North Turner was in the booth. Dave Wanstead was in the booth. So I mean, and we won Super Bowls that way. So there's examples of that. I mean, but you know, running backs matter back then too, and they don't now. So things change. You know, so let's move on. And I'd rather have my OC and my DC on the sidelines. That's just me. It's just, I mean, I know if I'm a player, I don't want to have to talk to him on the phone, you know, or talk to, you know, hey, so-and-so in the booth said this. We'll tell him I fucking said this. I want conversation with that guy. I want to be face-to-face with that guy, you know. So, you know, I don't think it's a detriment. I don't think it's, you know, a bad or great thing either way. I just, preference-wise, I want him on the sidelines.
Yeah, and my Cowboys wife makes a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Saying he spends a lot of time with the guys, but to me, that's why I want him on the sideline, because you talked about Marinelli. We knew Marinelli only talked to the defensive lineman. He went down, they made up these silly drills, and then he was gone for the day. All right, Richard, you take care of the rest. You can put him in the booth because he's not going to talk to the safeties and tell them what he did wrong.
Plus his neck, he's built for the booth, right? Because he looks down on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucked up, Eric.
It is fucked up.
But you got a guy like Dan Quinn. You see him with the defensive tackles, defensive ends, linebackers. You know he's a DB guy. He's going to go to everybody and tell them what they did wrong and talk to them. And he has a relationship with everybody. That's important. And as much as we respect the position coaches, if you've seen your DC and he's been doing drills with you on the sideline at practice, you're going to take his word with a little bit more authority than you would your position coach, which is weird to say because most teams, the position coaches are the most important because they deal with the players at their position 100% of the time.
I just find it weird because Quinn, and this ain't a bad thing, seems like a control freak. Like he wants control over shit. So I put myself in that shit. I couldn't be in the booth if I was defensive coordinator because I don't want to be in the booth. Like when I get pissed off at somebody, I don't want to have to fucking call and tell them they fucked up. I want to tell them they fucked up.
Make your point.
Yeah, I want to point my finger or drop some F-bombs and tell them how fucking stupid they are. I don't want to like have to call down or tell my assistant coach, hey, go tell them this. I want control. I want to tell them, hey, when they're on the field and they're lined up wrong, I want to be the one yelling, hey, go, go, go. I can
imagine it, man. Like coaching like youth football, I can't even stand being on the sideline. I want to run out in the field and smack someone in the back of the helmet and get in their face. Like I can't imagine if I was up on the top of the bleachers, up in the booth. Like it would drive me nuts.
It's just the communication, I think, right?
Yeah, because I didn't get to coach. And when they get in high school, it's different. You got to be in the stands. So when my son played high school football, because when he played Pee Wee, I could get to the sidelines. So when he came sidelines, hey, motherfucker, god damn it, and I'd be bitching at him. But when he's in high school, I'm up in the stands and he ghosts me. He'd look at me and I'd be like, and I was like, hey, did you not see me? He's like, no, I didn't see you up in the stands, Dad. Like, motherfucker, you little shit, you saw me. You just didn't want me fucking yelling. Now I start yelling, Trey! And he'd just be sitting there looking like he didn't, not even paying attention when all the fans be looking at me like, oh, you yelling at? It was hard. It was hard for me not to bitch at him.
Amy says, according to Quinn, he did this under Carroll as well. I think he has a voice in the sideline that will speak with his authority. Yeah, again, it comes back to that communication. So it's not just me and you talking face-to-face. It's mannerisms, body language, everything that you use to communicate, especially him. You see him when he's coaching. He's he's everywhere, right? So I think you miss out on that. As much as I don't think it's a detriment as much as it is it's not a positive, right? So it's not detrimental, but you're not gaining that positive of having that extra couple of variables when communicating with the players.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think we're going to lose any games because of it. But like I said, it's just a preference. I guess because I go by what I want to do, and I wouldn't want to be up in the coaching booth. I'd want to be on the sidelines with my players and yelling and screaming at them.
Yeah, you can't hear them F-bombs from the fucking booth.
And slapping them on their ass when they did good and shit, stuff like that. But, it's all up to the individual. If he feels like he does a better job up there,
sure,
then by all means. I mean, whatever makes him feel comfortable. If he's more comfortable being up there, he thinks he can call the game better, then yes, by far, do it. And plus, he had Joe Witt, which came with him from Atlanta. He was going to be the passing game coordinator. So I have a feeling he's probably going to be his guy on the sidelines calling the plays and shit like that. So, if you have somebody you trust, I just wouldn't trust nobody. I'd want to be that person. But if he has experience doing it and he's done good at it, then by all means keep doing what you're doing. If it works, then if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
See, I feel like your passing game coordinator should be the one up there.
I do too.
I feel like that should be completely swapped because you're really only up there to get the view of, at least in my opinion, or from what I can see, of the whole field and the coverage and stuff like that. What are they doing on the outside? You can't really see any better up front in the trenches. You can't really. I mean, linebackers maybe a little bit, but other than that, that's why you're up there. Why wouldn't you have a guy that's in charge of the back end up there and you? But whatever. We'll see how it works out. If it doesn't, they need to change it quick.
Exactly.
Thank you, my Cowboys HOF, for dropping in.
Yeah, appreciate you, Amy.
I was going to say at the end of the day, if our defense looks super aggressive and top 10 defense overnight, they're going to say Dan Quinn's a genius. He went to the booth and he changed things around. If it looks bad or the same thing, he's doing the same thing we did last year. He needs to get his butt back on the sideline. So the narrative is going to depend on how the defense looks.
Sure.
Well, that's what Nolan did last year. He started up on the booth. And then some point during the season, his ass came down on the sidelines.
Well, he got that shit in his eye and he had to come down. He couldn't see that far.
Is that what it was? I don't remember.
You got the fucking hot sauce in his shit.
Yeah, you could have fucking lied because I would never know. I never heard a story why he came down on the sidelines. I was always surprised that, why did he switch it up? Because he was adamant about being in the booth. Because he's always, I remember his days with Atlanta, with the 49. He's every place I've ever seen him coach at, Denver, he's always been in the booth.
Yep.
So it didn't surprise me when he went in the booth because that's where he's always done it from. And I'll be honest with you, she brought up a good point. I don't remember Quinn at Seattle where he was at. He was in the booth, and by all means, go back in the booth because you did a good job there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and being the head coach, you don't have that luxury, right?
No, yeah, you got to be on the sidelines. All right.
Well, shit.
I think we covered everything.
All right.
Go ahead.
Before we go, since we won't get to see you guys next week, we got the Cardinals coming up. What players are you guys watching on offense and defense in that game?
Probably all the same guys. I mean, everybody kind of put out their list on Twitter. What was it? Yesterday or whatever. It's kind of big scramble. I think there was. I forget who started the whole chain, but making a list of people that all the rookies, obviously.
Yeah.
I do want to see a little bit more starter action. I want to see some more. Ramp that up a little bit. We had 16 guys out and 9 starters, I believe. Now, obviously, you won't see Dak or anything like that, but I'd like to see Zeke play a little bit. I'd like to see Lamb at least put shoulder pads on. I'd like to see a little bit of the main guys, and then obviously, on with their youth.
I'd like to see Sean McKeon keep up with what he made some good plays last week.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping he gets that third tight end spot. I like him. He did pretty well. I'd like to see some more of that, and I'd like to see Connor Williams do a little bit better if at center. So like you said, Marcus, so many times before, worried about that backup center position, or who knows, maybe they want him to be the starting center. But I'd like to see more from him, and it'd be great to see Randy out there. Randy get some
that's another one.
So
yeah, I don't. Mine the same guys. I want to see. I don't care about the offense. I don't care who I see on the offense because the offense. I know what the fuck we're getting on offense. So, I mean, I don't. It's not going to impress me if CeeDee Lamb goes out there, balls out. It's not going to be like, damn, that kind of shocked me. I want to see Parsons. I want to see Cox.
That's true.
I still can't say that without laughing. I want to see Gregory. I want to see Basham. I want to see Bohanna. I want to see him dominate like so many people said he did in this game. I want to see Watson. I want to see Irvin.
Right.
I mean, I want to see that defense. That's everybody on the defense. I want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the offense goes, whatever it is, it is. I mean, if Dak ain't in there, I know what it's going to look like, anyways.
Is Zerline on PUP? What's up with him?
Yeah, he's
our Gerline. What's his name? Fuck.
Yeah,
Greg.
I don't know if he's on the PUP, but he is. He's out. I mean, but it's nothing serious. He'll be back. But yeah, like I said, offense. I just don't really. Maybe the O-line played a little better than they did. I like to see them improve. Maybe some of the backups, so I can trust if we do have some injuries, which I'm sure we will. That I can trust them guys to come in and play well. I like to see us do a little better at center. Our snaps wasn't on par last night. But yeah, that's about all. I mean, that's would be the second preseason game. So we'll get to see a little bit more of the starters. We'll be to that third preseason game.
Well, you don't know because that'll be the Cardinals' first preseason game. So it all depends on what they do.
Yeah, well, it's all going to change now with 3 preseason games because it used to be the third is where you got to see the starters now. So now I think it's going to be the second.
Mhm.
So it'd be the Cardinals first, and it would be our second. So that I don't know how that's going to go.
That's a good point, Charlie.
Yeah, so I don't know. Whatever. I do know this. Talking about Dak. Dak was supposed to play in this game.
Yeah.
That was the plan the whole time. Dak wasn't going to play in the Pittsburgh game. So if he doesn't play, but he does throw all week before that game, I'm not worried. But if he don't throw all week and he don't play against Arizona, I'm officially worried about Dak Short.
So you think this is the game where we see the starters up until the halftime?
No. I think that'll be the third one, which would be everybody else's second one.
Okay, I got you.
And then the fourth one would be like
maybe a series or a drive or something.
I think ours is going to be just like it has been for 20 years. Yeah. First game was Pittsburgh. We don't see shit. Second one, we'll see a little bit of the starters. Third game, we'll see all the starters for a while. Not all, but most. And then the fourth game would be all the guys trying to make the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now next year when we have 3, I don't know how they'll work that out. I guess the second game would be the game that they'll show their starters, and the third game would be the one they lay everybody out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's going to be weird.
Then again, who knows?
My Cowboys family. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. I was going to say, who knows how long to rest some of the guys if they want to play it safe, like with Dak and stuff. Last year, they didn't have any preseason games, and we was first in offense until Dak went down still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not worried about the offense. Yeah. I want to – dude, I'm excited about this defense.
Yeah.
I am too.
I think I'm not predicting no badass defense, but I think we're going to be really, really improved on the defense side of the ball. I really do. You know, I think it might take a while. I don't think we'll come out guns a-blazing. But I think somewhere around the halfway point, I think we'll catch some stride, and I think we'll be a pretty good defense.
I think turnovers should jump up dramatically, man. These guys are flying. I see a lot of guys ripping at the ball, bottoms of piles, even making tackles coming in with the rip, initially. So look for a lot more turnovers, I think, this year.
Yeah. I was laughing earlier. Go ahead.
No. I had nothing. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Rika, I kept laughing earlier. If y'all was wondering why I was laughing for no damn reason while you're having a serious conversation.
The knucklehead.
I thought I read it wrong, and I could have swore it said Rush and Dick Knucklehead. So, it had me cracking up because just Dick Knucklehead obviously is I haven't heard that before. So
that's how Charlie read it too.
I like Dick Knucklehead better. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, next week, I'm looking forward to this game more than the Steelers because I know the Cardinals' identity is going to be to pass the ball more. So I think we're going to see a lot more from our corners, good or bad.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals are loaded at receiver because they got A.J. Green. You don't know if he's going to be running with the ones or the twos.
Yep.
Of course, you got
Christian Kirk. You got
Christian Kirk.
Is Larry still playing?
I think he may still be a free
agent. No, he's still a free agent.
Oh, still a free agent. Okay.
He hasn't decided if he's going to retire or play.
But you got
Rondale Moore who can fly.
Yep.
And you brought up Christian Kirk. They still got Andy Isabella who can fly.
Isabella, little slot guy.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of speed on the field, and I think we're going to see our corners get tested a lot more than they did this past game because I think the Steelers are really trying to focus on setting up the run game a little bit more than the pass.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get a much better look at our corners.
I like that. That's a good observation.
And I hope that Kyler Murray plays just enough to see if Parsons can track him down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good
hopefully Dick Knuckle don't play the whole second half.
I think you'll see a lot more. I think, from what they showed at this game, GG's your guy going forward. He should be able to see a lot with that being out. He should be seeing a lot more reps, I think, in these preseason games. I just don't see the other guys, doing anything to better their position, their chances to get on the roster. Are they keeping 3? Does anybody know, or anybody think? They got to keep 2. Oh, quarterbacks.
Nah, they're going to keep 2.
It's got to be 2, right?
Yeah, the only reason you're keeping 3 is if that third talent is just too good to pass. You know,
And
to risk losing.
Cooper Rush is tough, man. He took some shots and made some pretty crazy throws under pressure yesterday. But I think he is the. Now I know people are bad on DiNucci, but I think DiNucci's arm talent and his size and mobility makes him better than Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush has a fucking noodle arm.
Right.
I mean, his arm strength is just absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
The statue.
But DiNucci has good arm strength, which is sometimes bad because he thinks he can do shit that he can't do.
Right.
He throws still because he's always sidearming them.
And he tries out Patrick fucking Mahomes shit. And I'm like, dude, you ain't Patrick Mahomes. Fucking throw it over your top of your fucking shoulder. Be trying all fancy shit. You look like shit, dude.
Yeah, Mendoza. That's
pimple on fucking Patrick Mahomes' ass.
Dak GG Dobbs, make it happen.
Quick question. If DiNucci got cut, is there any chance anybody else will pick him up?
I don't think so. I think he goes
He's
straight
playing
to
like this? Hell no.
I think he goes straight to the practice squad.
Straight pace, I think we can go.
McCarthy likes him, right?
Yeah.
Straight out of the league.
Yeah, that's Mike's guy. So he's got a very good sponsor.
Yeah.
Eric, you okay there, buddy? Or what?
Yeah, Lambo made me laugh there.
Oh.
Big knuckle.
Luns.
Yeah.
Damn. Who had that question earlier? They were asking if they were going to get a recap every week. So what we were planning on doing is myself and Charlie, DCU will be recapping all the games on Tuesdays, and then Saturdays before games, we'll have these two gentlemen, Lambo and Bluff, and as well as Rika on the show for the new show coming up in September, Keeping Up with the Joneses. So look for that too.
Well,
so,
the preseason, we'll do this the preseason. We'll recap the Cardinals game the day after. Eventually, I don't know if we'll have to get together either next week or next. We'll do our 53-man roster. Who we think is going to make it? And there's going to be one show before the season starts that we're going to break down what we're going to be about during the season to explain to everybody.
Okay.
Because we haven't done anything that we would do during the season because we don't have no games. And preseason games, we can't really break down EPA. I mean, we can, but it's not worth a shit.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to – when we ramp up, it'll be highly technical, a lot of advanced stats and stuff like that. And then, we wanted to counteract that with the Keeping Up with the Joneses show. Is going to be more fun, more of a pre-cap, not a recap type of deal. We'll just let it loose and give our thoughts on the upcoming game versus, studying and looking over the analytics side after the games with DCU. So, just be on the lookout for those two.
Yeah, but during the season, it'll be every Tuesday. But the next 3 weeks will be the day after each preseason game. And we'll, like I said, I'm trying to get 2 analytic guys to come on. One hasn't answered me. One's getting married and said he can't commit right now. But to explain basically just EPA, because that's the one I will have a hard time explaining to people. I understand it. I know what it is, but that doesn't mean I can teach it.
Yeah.
So now the CPOE and the ADOT and the war and shit like that, I can explain all that. Well, maybe not the war, but I can explain all that. But this EPA is where it gets technical. And anyways, we'll explain how we're going to break down shit. And then every Tuesday, like he said, every Tuesday, and then we're going to be with these guys and Rika on Saturdays. It'd be 2 different types of shows, though. Our Tuesday shows is going to be technical, breaking down shit. And then Saturdays just going to be like 5 people sitting around drinking beer, getting fucked up, talking about football. There might even be some drinking beer because it's Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
Hopefully, I do plan on beer.
Yeah. So, but that's what it's going to be about. It's going to be a lot of fun. The fans going to be highly involved in that one. Not that they're not involved in DCU, but it's just going to be a different format. It's just going to be something we don't like. Bluff said a while back. We all have structures of our show, what we want to get done during the week, but there's also a lot of shit outside our structure that we don't get to talk about.
Right.
And we're going to use Saturdays to talk about all that. Tuesdays will be breaking down the game we just had, a little bit about the game coming forward, what we expect, and then Saturday's going to be right before the game, and we're just going to have fun with it. And
Total chaos.
Yeah,
Structure is going to be real loose, man. We'll have a couple of
loose
topics in mind, but it could go anywhere.
We'll probably have a couple of fans come on with us, and fucking chop it up with us and shit like that. It'll be a fun show. hopefully we'll get my Cowboys family in one Saturday. They'll come in with us, and that'll be a lot of fun. And hell, whoever, we're going to have fun with it.
And
Yeah,
we
I
should be able
appreciate
to
them
get the
two
phone-
coming out.
We should be able to get the phone line in on my side too, if you guys want to do that.
There you go. And that's another thing. That's something that me and Eric never has done, so that'd be fun too.
Okay.
So, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Y'all should check it out. We're hoping it's going to go off good. Plus, we got Rika. Rika's good. We're going to make her head big there, so I can't say too many nice things about her. But she's pretty good. She's not bad.
Yeah. I think Lambo and I are just about to start going back to our regular season time, Wednesday nights, 8:30 Central.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah,
know.
we decided to do it on
reason we-
Tuesdays. That's why we decided on Tuesdays, because Bluff is, like I've told people all the time, he's my favorite content creator, and we didn't want to go same time as him, same day, because then we're just he's going, we're going. I don't get to see
Stealing
what he
viewership, there's no
We watch
reason.
other stuff, right?
Yeah, so I was like, well, I told Eric, let's go on Tuesdays. Bluff has Wednesdays. Let's go on Tuesdays and do our shit, and then that way we can be involved in his on Wednesdays and shit. Like
I mean,
that.
you guys go at 7:30, so if you guys went 7:30 on Wednesdays, by the
Yeah,
time-
that's
We
a lot,
talked.
though.
We talked about that too. Maybe
Yeah, we talked
going
about.
before.
We said like if we go at 7:30 and then we go long, like if it's a good game and me and Eric just sitting there bullshit for 2.5 hours, then we're going to bleed into yours and shit.
that's not a big deal.
So we just said, fuck it, let's go on Tuesdays, and we can both have our days. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
you're my
I
boo.
guess
boy.
we're still weighing it. It's not in stone yet. There was a couple of pros and a couple cons that we had to still talk out. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I got my boo, my redneck mullet. Hi.
And plus, I think everybody goes on Wednesday, so it's
Oh, I'm
not
sure.
just us.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Probably like 15
true.
podcasts on Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, good.
Yeah. This will be our first regular season. So
Yeah.
we've done off season. We're getting into preseason. This will be our first regular season. So we're not real sure how things go.
Big game goes on Tuesdays, but he goes super late. He might go at
Oh,
10.
okay.
And
Oh, there we go.
George D goes on Tuesday.
Getting me all hot. I'm sweating. Shit. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, y'all join the show on Saturdays, man. I'm ready for that one. Look, and that's going to be a lot of fun, in my opinion.
I got to get my car system set up.
Damn. You coming
Oh, yeah,
live
that's
from the
right.
from the car?
What's that?
You'll be in the car with us, huh?
Most of the time, yeah.
that's
More than
cool.
likely. Because we're talking about 8 o'clock, right? Or
You
It'll
driving?
be 8.
Or are you just gonna be sitting in your car?
it depends.
Ooh, shit.
I do a lot of weddings. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
L3, right?
Most of the times I just be sitting in the parking lot while they're cutting the cake or something.
Ceremony and shit going on. I
Yeah.
got you.
So, yeah, well, I
Right
think
on, right on. Any shout outs before we go? Anybody need to get anything off their plate there?
Oh, well, thank you for a few of our regulars. I see
Yeah.
Jack Meeker was in the comments quite a bit. Mendoza's everybody's
Mhm.
regular. So thank you. DJ Dog, he's always supporting
The
us.
Ninja was in there. A couple of new
Yeah.
faces. Jessica. Obviously Ian and Amy from my Cowboys family. Appreciate y'all showing some love, coming out and seeing us. They'll be going on. I think they go on late, don't they? They'll be
Yeah.
going on around midnight or something, 11.
Yeah,
I'm not
here in
sure
a couple
exactly.
hours.
So, yeah, but they'll be on later. Yeah. Who else?
James Gary follows us quite a bit. So thank you for coming.
I
over
did
and
see
watching
him in
us.
the name. Appreciate you, James. Yep.
I'll do this one more time. I did it the first show. The Facebook group hashtag DC for life, DC the number 4L. Join the group. They gave us permission to post in their group and promote our show DCU, and keeping it on the Joneses. But Lambo was going to get that anyways, because I think you used to be admin in that group, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why I try to post and she wouldn't let me post. Amanda Foster, and I was like, hey, well, I saw Lambo, he posts, so I just thought I could. She goes, well, Lambo used to be admin in here, and I was like, well, we're doing a show with him every Saturday, and I showed her the promo. She goes, awesome. She goes, all right, cool. You can post it here if you just give us a shout out. I was like, that's no problem. I said, I'll promote y'all. So anyways, that's
Hoorah.
cool of her. That's cool of her letting us do
Semper
that.
Fi.
So.
Yeah.
And the Ninja says
Yeah,
he follows Rico around. So
it's a big group too, man.
Appreciate her.
130 something thousand or something.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you came on, I told everybody join it. told him it's 130,000 group, private group.
Yeah.
I told him I don't know how they do it and do it so well because we had 17,000 at one time in ours, and I deleted 15,000 motherfuckers because it was too big. I'm like, I can't handle all these people and all these idiots.
Yeah, they have to have a ton of moderators.
Yeah, they do have a ton of people. Anyways, like I said, shout out to Amanda Foster. Thank you for letting us promote on in your group, hashtag DC for life. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we also talked to her about getting her on. She said
she wants to come on the phone line. Yeah.
Yeah. So we said we'll figure it out and we'll get you in something like that.
She's cool.
Yeah, she is.
And shoot, if y'all will, hit up my Twitter at Cowboys Y'all and share that Cowboy Del Benvenucci video.
Yeah, share. That shit is
fucking
I've yet to get a viral video on Twitter. I've got viral videos on Facebook. I've got a viral video on YouTube. I'd like to get one on Twitter. That'd be
nice.
fun.
Yeah.
So I'll share that. Share that shit.
Yeah. Make sure you guys go follow Lambo as well. Cowboys Y'all on YouTube. Find me, Bluff City Cowboys on YouTube. Follow our Facebook page as well, the Cowboy Zone. We'll start coming on every Wednesday night, 8:30 Central Standard Time. So continue to follow, continue to support. Follow these guys as well if you haven't done so already, because they put out great content also.
That's it for me. What else you got, Charlie?
I ain't got shit. I am done.
Hey, if you can get past the cheesy but necessary intros and these bullshit ass cheesy outros, the content in between is great, man. Just go follow our shit. Wait for like 5 minutes, then jump in. All that, all that bullshit we talk in the, our stupid cheesy faces when they come on. Welcome to the show. Skip all that, man. Just fast forward a little bit. The content is great. Give us a like, give us a follow in the comment section. If you're watching this not live, rewatching this, go in the comments. I'm actually really good. I'm one of those people that if there's notifications on my phone, I will go check them and I will reply. Go in the comments. Tell us how we did. Tell us your thoughts. If you have any questions on what we covered throughout the show, leave it in the comments. I will get back to you. So like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, all them other shits. Hit all them buttons. We appreciate every single one of y'all. We won't do it unless we get the support like this. So it's a lot of fun for us to do it and bring this to you guys. So, help us out with the algorithms. That's all I got, guys. Anything else?
All right, guys. Thanks.
Go Cowboys.
Peace.
Yeah.